Hello, welcome along to the Sports Corner Live. We are back once again for another watch-along on the channel, and it is a very big watch-along indeed because, in fact, it's the first watch-along that we've done of the season in Ligue, and it's a very big game indeed between two of the top sides in France. AS Monaco are taking on PSG in a game that hopefully should bring us some drama, hopefully should bring us some goals. And, the sides are interesting tonight, but before we talk about that, kickoff is in about 5 minutes' time. We are going to get underway in a moment, but joining me today for this watch-along, he's been very excited about this game for quite some time now. We knew about it, of course, before the international break, and we've always said we were going to cover this match. It's Kieran. How are we doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty well, Josh. How are you doing?
Doing good as always. I mean, the important thing for us is club football's finally back. This is it. You know, we've waited 2 weeks now. Just how good does it feel knowing that now, until the end of the year and further beyond into 2021, there's no more international football?
We have been very lacklustre in terms of good news this year. But hearing that club football is back and will be here for the next 6 months, around 5 months, there was many fist pumps on the Nations League stream, and it's not any knock on the Nations League. It just never can match club football. And starting tonight with what should be a very good game, but not everyone's on show because of that international break.
Exactly. I mean, there were some good Nations League games, but as you perfectly put it, it will never be the same as club football. But tonight we've got a big fixture between AS Monaco and PSG. These two teams, of course, pushing towards the upper end of the league. AS Monaco currently sat in 6th. They could bridge the gap tonight. PSG have already got a 5-point gap between first and second, of course. Quite the usual now, isn't it, in Ligue with PSG being the top side?
Yeah, but do you remember at the start of the season where they had that little run where they had about 7 suspensions and a couple of injuries and a bit of COVID as well? You thought, oh my God, this is the moment. This is the moment where teams below them can capitalise. But I think they just rob points off each other. And that actually becomes the worst thing because you can rarely predict who's going to finish second in Ligue 1. But you sadly can always predict who's going to finish first.
Which is a shame because in the respect of things, you look and you think, well, that surely makes it a very competitive league, and the fact that you've got so many teams around that will kind of shift in between first, second, third, fourth, well, not really first, second, third, fourth, fifth, so on and so forth, and it makes for a good season. But as you said perfectly, we're going to go into the teams, of course, this game kicking off in just about 2 or 3 minutes' time, and we'll start off with the AS Monaco team. As you can see on the screen, tonight's biggest player is missing. Wissam Ben Yedder, of course, that is due to him contracting COVID-19. But you can see 4-4-2 tonight for AS Monaco. Vito Mannone, whoever thought he was going to play against PSG? He's in goal tonight. Imagine a few years ago if you put a bet on that. I don't think many people would have thought that had happened.
I thought you were starting that sentence with Monaco's biggest players back tonight. It's Vito Mannone.
Well, he's the biggest player. He might have to be the biggest player on the pitch tonight. But the back four includes Ballo-Touré, Badiashile, Disasi and Matsima. The midfield four, Gelson Martins, he's in the squad, which is fantastic for him tonight. Fofana, Tchouameni and Diop is on the left-hand side. And then up top tonight is Jrebels and Kevin Volland. Of course, we'll talk about that lineup in a second as they show us the lineup on our screens right now, on our TV screen. This is the away side, 4-4-2 for PSG tonight, which is quite an interesting call. Usually we see him with a 4-3-3, but Keylor Navas is in goal, back four of Cazorla on the left-hand side, Colin Dagba's on the right, and then Kimpembe and Abdou Diallo in the middle. The midfield four, you've got Di Maria on the right-hand side, you've got Pablo Sarabia on the left-hand side. Yeah, no, that is right. I thought I'd gone wrong for a second there. Danilo Pereira and Rafinha's in the middle, and then Mbappe and Keane up top. You can see with the substitutes as well, some of the big subs tonight. As I said, Ben Yedder is missing for AS Monaco, so the likes of Fabregas and Stefan Jovetic are the most recognisable players on the bench to Premier League fans, and fans, of course, the likes of Barcelona and other clubs in the past in Italy as well for Jovetic. And then the bench for PSG does include some of those players that have been on international duty. That includes the likes of Marquinhos and, most importantly, Neymar, who's on the bench tonight. A lot of travel for some of these players, hence why it means the likes of Neymar are on the bench tonight.
Yep.
It's a weakened side, not just for PSG, but for Monaco as well. Just how crucial do you think it could be? Not just for Monaco that their side, that PSG is weak, but for PSG as well, in the fact that it's pretty much vice versa.
Yeah, it is. It's two teams that, you know, at full strength could provide us a really nice competitive game. They're not full strength, but I do think it could still be competitive. It could be, you know, luckily for PSG, they have a few more bigger stars, whereas I feel when Monaco's biggest stars are out, their team is seriously weakened, whereas PSG is slightly depleted, but not entirely weakened. But for me, I've watched Monaco plenty of times this year, and I've done a few reports on them. They are never shy from having a fun game. So hopefully we can have that tonight.
Definitely not, indeed. They're never shy of a dull game, and also this is the league which is never shy of giving out a red card. I mean, we've seen, compared to leagues across European football, this is the league that is giving out a lot of red cards right now, as there's a minute's silence and a minute's celebration for, I think, one of the staff members or previous club players that have passed away, unfortunately. They've got fireworks going off in celebration, which I think is quite a cool idea,
it is
to be
a nice
fair.
idea.
But overall, big match tonight, and as I said, red cards have tended to have been given out quite a lot in Ligue. Monaco quite recently, a few weeks ago, got 2 in one of their games. PSG a few weeks ago got 2 in their game. Do you think tonight we're going to have that red card record continue on?
Well, I don't want to see it early because I don't want it to ruin the outcome of the game. I want to see a competitive game for 85 minutes. But if you want to spruce it up with a red card and a 5-5, I'll take it all day long.
I mean, technically, I know you don't want a red card early, but if we had a red card from both sides, then it makes the game interesting indeed, becoming 10v10. But the referee, he's got his watch on, he's ready to go. The referee does blow his whistle, and we are underway in tonight's fixture between AS Monaco and PSG. And club football is finally back, which is fantastic to see, and we have an absolute barnstormer of a game on our hands tonight. Monaco and PSG, not necessarily as big of a match as it was a few years ago. Monaco were much bigger kind of 3 or 4 years ago, and in fact we all remember, of course, they won the league one of the seasons. As for PSG, that dominance continues on. Big test for Monaco tonight, isn't it, more than PSG?
Yeah, it is. They've had they're such a polarising team. Some weeks they're absolutely brilliant, but some weeks they can be torn apart quite easily, as I'm getting choked up over the Monaco team as the ref gets in the way early, and I'm sure that'll bring a drop ball. But what are you expecting from tonight's game? I'm expecting an entertaining one. It could become a bloodbath, but we'll have to see. What are you thinking?
Well, we talked before we went live a couple of hours ago, before the teams came out, and of course we thought some of the bigger players would be playing. Of course, forgot that Ben had got COVID, so there was absolutely no chance he was going to play in a match like this. But I said it was either going to go 2 ways. We'd either see a very resolute Monaco team that'll come here today, they'll stay compact, stay organised, and it could end 2-1 to PSG, 3-2 to PSG, or it could end the other way, or it ends completely opposite and PSG go on and dominate the match. And well, after looking at the lineups, you'd expect PSG to score a few goals tonight. In fact, the last time they played each other, PSG beat Monaco 4-1, which is certainly a demolition within itself. But I said to you before the stream, I don't know why, but I think Vito Manone tonight, this is a big opportunity for him to really prove himself. Well,
he's the name on the team sheet that really sparked the imagination of us two anyway while we were watching. And tonight he can either steal headlines for 1 or 2 reasons. PSG sink 6 goals, or he stops most of them, and then either way, I think eyes are on him if you're a fan of either the Premier League or an Englishman.
A bit nervy there from the back from Taylor and Raphael there, just hoofing the ball out of play. But we will know, of course, in the past from his time at Sunderland specifically, but it's a big opportunity for him tonight. And first little chance there for Kieran, AS Monaco, not necessarily from one of their players, it was from PSG's on back line there. Yeah,
Taylor and Raphael took the ball. It's a great tracking the run by Gwebels?
What
would you call it? I don't want to do with the French accent, as Moise Keane's in, but Vito Manone comes out and smothers on the opposing striker, Moise Keane, as Gwebels. I'm going to call him Gwebels.
You go Gwebels, I'm going to Jrebels. I don't know why, but I like the pronunciation of him being Jrebels.
It's definitely...
Which is not even a French name, I believe he's Belgian. Oh no, he is French, so it could be Jrebels then.
It could be.
But I like your pronunciation, Gwebels. It's great, isn't it?
It sounds like what you call your cat. Come on, Gwebels.
How are we doing, Kyle? Welcome to the stream. Hey guys, hoping for a Monaco win tonight. Good to see you in the stream, as always, buddy. But absolutely buzzing for this game. Should be a good match indeed. And in this first kind of 3 or 4 minutes, it's PSG, as you would expect, dominating possession tonight. But we talked about at the beginning of this, Monaco currently sat in 6th in Ligue 1 as it currently stands. I'll actually get the table up and have a quick look here. So they are sat in 5th right now because of their points as it currently stands in this game on 18 points. If they win tonight, they'll bridge that gap between PSG in first and themselves down to 5 points. It's currently 6 points between PSG and Lille, so a lot of pressure on them.
Lille do have a game in hand and Marseille have 2 games in hand, so Marseille could go 1 point behind PSG, so it's not all set in stone luckily at the moment. But Monaco, as we've said, very polarised, and I've seen the 2 sides to Monaco, the 2 that won out 3-2 with 9 men, and then the one that got destroyed by Lyon in a very entertaining game, I will say. But you know, tonight it depends, because without Ben Yedder they are missing that leading marksman up top, and Kevin Volland's good, but I just don't think he brings the same. He's not feared as much around the league, I'd say. Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, you could look at it the other way as well and say, well, PSG tonight are missing some of their bigger stars. Of course, I think Neymar's the most recognisable, but when you actually look at that midfield, Verratti is a big miss for them tonight. Certainly one of the players that it has always been a pivotal part of this PSG side for a good couple of years now. Rafinha and Danilo Pereira in midfield tonight. Of course, Rafinha it wasn't even a panic buy, it was just a very good tactical deal because they brought him in for free of charge.
Yeah.
Because Barcelona were just desperate to get rid of him in the end. And Danilo Pereira came in on loan from Porto, but will be joining permanently anyway. Do you see that midfield tonight as a bit of a weakness for PSG?
I don't in terms of Danilo Pereira. I think Danilo Pereira is very good, and I think a lot of the time, alongside the likes of William Carvalho, I've watched them both for Portugal, and they're very underrated the way they break up the play and allow the attacking players for Portugal to do their job. Without them in the team, I think Portugal can get ran through. So I don't mind that one. But when we've seen him in the Champions League, Danilo Pereira, he's been playing as a centre-half, and Marquinhos has been controlled in the midfield, but we know he can do it. In terms of like creativity, I'm very slightly nervous. I think that'll come from the wings, because we know Rafinha, he's an okay player. He probably has a better agent than he does footballing ability, because he somehow gets into all these big teams. But not worried, but two very different players. What do you think?
It's one of those, isn't it? Really, I'm not a massive fan of Rafinha, but he's done actually quite well since he's come into the club, and there's not really much pressure on you when you're coming in as a free deal. As I said, Barcelona just looked quite desperate to get rid of him, and for PSG, he's another squad depth player, which he's had a few games to play in this squad so far as the ball's trying to get lobbed into the box towards Mbappe. It doesn't come to him in the end, and I mean he's not a bad signing. He's not exactly going to be a world beater, but in terms of a depth player, I don't think any club would complain bringing Rafinha in on a free, depending on his wages, because I don't know how much he's on, and I'd assume he would be one of those types of players to probably ask for a little bit more than you would expect to be a depth player. I don't really agree with that.
I do, and early on in this game, Ballo-Touré down this left-hand side has been creating a lot of overlapping runs, and he's been doing a very good job of creating a bit of width for Monaco. But my problem with Monaco is, I don't know about you, that back line is so young. Like, I remember watching them play it, and their average, the oldest player in the back line was 24 years old. And
which is mad.
Yeah, they lack an experienced head, and they are very talented young players, but there's no leadership, and I think you can tell that sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Hence why we've seen in the past when they've got red cards, they've been a little bit reckless. Some games they've dropped points. As much as having that youth is nice, and you could look in maybe 3 or 4 years' time and think, oh well, this could be a very good back line if everybody stays. You do need that experience at the same time at the back, which even on the bench tonight, Maripan's on there. He's probably the most experienced player out of them all who could come into the team and do a job. But it's a big gamble from Monaco. I guess this is the start of their kind of new generation of young footballers. We've already had that in the past as a long-range effort is taken on by Diop, and it goes completely wide of the left-hand side of the post. But it's a new start, isn't it? It's a new generation here for Monaco. And although they've got some experience in there, so, Fabregas and I think Jovetic are two very, level-headed, experienced players. You've got Ben Yedder, who he's a great player in his day, but now he's an experienced man, being in his early 30s, and I think Volland as well. It's a new era for Monaco, and while they don't have that big amount of cash to spend anymore, they are looking into producing young players. And do you think we'll ever see Monaco get back to the top again, or do you think unless something incredible happens, we probably won't see Monaco become a force like they were a few years ago?
I don't think. Not anytime soon we'll see, because that was a golden generation of Monaco talent. As the speed of Mbappe, or is it Mbappe down there? I think it is as well. The speed of the man is absolutely unbelievable. He took a very heavy touch, but he managed to keep it in. But they are leaving spaces. But on Monaco, I do think it will never reach that golden generation with Mbappe and Fabinho and Sidibe, and you looked all over that team, and there was stars really.
Yeah.
But I do like the new tactic, which is they are very much building for the future. And there's a free kick just on the edge of the box for a handball by Danilo Pereira as he was sliding for the ball.
Let's have a look at the comments. Chris, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. But he says, hi lads, hope you are both well. And then Cal's put, do you guys reckon PSG can get to the Champions League final again, or will this fall short like they used to? I'll let you start on that one.
I think PSG can get to a final again. I think last year was a real turning point for this team, and in terms of their ability to get past and into the latter stages, I think they can do it again. I think they've got the talent in the right areas. Not the most well-balanced team, but when you've got superstars that can change games, we saw that when they looked like they were on the brink of going out against Atalanta. Big players win you big games. So it can happen, as we'll just pause while Kevin Volland takes his free kick.
He does indeed, standing over it. Probably one of the more experienced players in this squad tonight. Still a very young. Well, actually, I'd say Vincent is the most experienced player on the pitch. But Kevin Volland's had a good start to life in France, courtesy of his move from Bayer Leverkusen. But he's going to stand over this free kick, and I have a feeling he's going to try and hit this into the top right-hand corner. It's going to go into the back of the net. Please prove me right, Kevin Volland. As the ref just talks to the wall, Volland takes it.
Whoa.
And that is a fairly decent save from Taylor Navas. It's not a hard save there for the Costa Rican goalkeeper, but it's the first shot on target of the night as Diop tries to come forward and the ball is eventually given away. But they've got it back once again here, and I don't think it's going to come to anything.
They're still probing in and around the area, and it's being recycled by this Monaco team. They didn't let PSG get out and break, but they might have just done that now. But again,
that is really good work there.
Gelson Martins does really well on the right hand side, and he will pick it up again, but there's no one really in the box. He will drive at the fullback, and his cross comes to nothing. But good start from Monaco, really good start.
Very good start indeed. And to come back to your question, Kyle, I'm going to disagree with you and say I don't think we'll see PSG in another final for maybe a few more years now. I think.
How long are you talking? Because I'm thinking like next 2 or 3 we might see him again.
That's what I was thinking. Next 2 or 3 they won't. I think. This Bayern Munich team looks like it could go on to win another Champions League. If the fact we was talking about them against Salzburg when they were it was 2-2 and then they went on to win 6-2 just shows how dominant of the side they are. But could be a chance here. Ball lobbed into the box and it's cleared away in the end from the Monaco back line. But I think we'll wait a couple more years until we see that in another final. They've got the basis of the squad there, and I think now they've been able to get over the barrier of the fact that we've had so many incredible comebacks over the last couple of years from big teams, including the likes of Barcelona, as Danilo Pereira takes on effort from about 30 yards out there, goes over the bar and over the goal completely.
By about 30 yards as well, over
the
bar.
Not the best of chances, but I think that was the year for them to win it, which is crazy to say, considering how dominant that Bayern Munich side was.
Yeah, they did very well against Bayern Munich. I think they were in the game for many stages. They had chances in the game as well. They just weren't clinical in that game. Maybe do that game 2 or 3 times over. They'll probably get 1 at least on the score sheet. But with a team like that, I understand what you mean. I think the draw has to be a certain way for PSG to succeed as well. I think coming up against a team like Bayern Munich or... Then again, if you look around Europe, Josh, there's only one consistent team in Europe because Real Madrid haven't looked consistent. Barcelona are not consistent either. There's only one. So for PSG to get back up there, it might not be the most bizarre thought at this current moment.
This is the point I was going to make. It's the fact that those teams that haven't been consistent are now going to be under more pressure to go out there and win the competition. I mean, Barcelona, they'll probably have a little bit more pressure on them this year to... maybe not win the tournament. They'll have the dreams of doing it, and maybe it's an expectation. I don't know what they're thinking of this year as Gelson Martins comes down that right-hand side. Love a bit of trickery there from the Portuguese winger. But I think teams like Real Madrid, they'll expect to be up there this year. Barcelona will. Liverpool, although they've had a lot of injuries, they'll probably be expecting to improve on last year. Atletico Madrid, now they've got a stronger attack. They're going to have better dreams of trying to win this tournament. I think for PSG... the fact that they made the final was really, really good. And they will expect to be up there again towards that upper echelon of the Champions League. They'll want to make the semis, and if they can make the finals and win it, then fair play to them indeed. But I think there's other clubs out there that are going to be under a lot more pressure to go and win the tournament that maybe we won't see PSG make it as far as they did this year.
And the one-legged ties really suits PSG because they don't have time to cock it up.
Exactly.
So, now we're back to 2 legs. Sadly, they do have a second leg to go and throw away a 3-0 lead like they usually do.
Very, very true. But at the same time, now they've kind of bridged that gap of being able to get through the tough fixtures. Will that now spur this side on? I think it's a very different team to the teams of the last couple of years. Mbappe, Neymar and Di Maria are just on another level right now, and they've got quite a cool-headed squad indeed. And I think that we've always said in the past, I think in the last couple of years, that PSG have kind of lacked a defensive midfielder, which they got in Idrissa Gana Gueye. They've now got another one in Danilo Pereira as they try to push forward here, PSG, and there's a bit of sloppy defensive work from the back there from Monaco, but they've got the ball away and they might be able to counter-attack here.
Yeah, there appeared to be a trip just on the edge of the box, but the referee didn't give it, the referee overlooked it, and they will kick the ball out because the man that was tackled on the edge of the box, tripped up, was Di Maria, and he stayed down, so I think probably be a drop ball near midfield.
Probably will be indeed. Let's have a quick look comment, see what you guys have been saying. Of course, do put in your questions and thoughts throughout the show. It's always nice indeed to have a few of those questions in. Chris has put, I was having a good day till I found out my uncle, whose season ticket holder at Carlisle, has cancer, so I'm kind of in a bad mood. Sorry to hear that, Chris.
Thoughts and prayers, brother.
Thoughts and prayers indeed. And then Chris has put, PSG not good enough defensively to win the Champions League.
Well, this is the age-old question, isn't it? Defensively, they lost Thiago Silva. I don't think they've replaced him. Maybe they see a future with Thilo Kehrer, maybe.
Diallo, potentially.
And Diallo, because he's not really had a chance since he's come in. Kimpembe's still there. Marquinhos can always drop back. They've got good defenders. They haven't got any great defenders. But when you look at Bayern Munich, technically, defensively, they're not that great. They can always be hit over the top. They've just got players with great recovery pace.
Yeah, exactly. And, the thing is, I think that PSG team, if there was I think Tuchel's a decent manager, but with a top manager, I think that PSG team could play in a fairly similar way to Bayern Munich. They've got a really, really good attack. And defensively, it's not the best. I mean, you have to say Bayern Munich's defence is 100 times better than the PSG one.
Yeah, of course.
But I think for PSG, it's always been about just scoring as many goals as you can. And, well, let's be real, the level of competition that they're coming up against in Ligue is nowhere near some of the lower-end teams in the likes of the Premier League, La Liga, even Serie A to a certain extent. Some of those smaller teams do tend to do quite well. But, I think for PSG, the outlay has always been to try and score more than the opposition, and I think this year that'll come into factor a lot more as Gelson Martins comes down the right-hand side. Ball laid into the box, doesn't land at the end in the end to one of the Monaco attackers, and it's been a fairly, not sloppy first 15 minutes, but a fairly even first 15 minutes. Been a few chances for both sides, and I think if there's one player looking quite hungry tonight, Gelson Martins.
Yep. He fancies himself up against Levan Kurzawa, which is fine because Levan Kurzawa hasn't always been the most consistent of left backs. He's a good left back, don't get me wrong, but in terms of pace, he's not the quickest. In terms of defensive awareness, as we see another ball given away, and then sadly it's given away by Monaco. That was a really good chance to capitalise, and now it'll come PSG's way. But as you say, very sloppy on both sides. Both teams giving the ball away.
Very rough there for Fofana giving the ball away. I was going to say Tuchemeni, but it was Fofana. Gave the ball away initially. As there's a chance he hit from long range, and it's a little bit wide of the mark there from Di Maria, but a few decent chances this game. And Victor Manon has had nothing to do so far in 20 minutes, apart from watch two long range efforts go completely wide of the goal. But just look at the chat right now, see what you guys are saying. Carl saying, sorry to hear that, Chris. My love goes out to you, your uncle and your whole family. If you don't mind me saying, I hope he stays strong and fights it. Same from us. Hopefully he can stay strong and get through it, buddy. And then Chris has put, cheers lads, I'm trying to stay happy but just can't hear him that. Hopefully he goes away though. Fingers crossed for him. And then Chris has put, last season was the year for PSG to win it in my opinion. I agree with you on that one.
So does Antoine. He just put, I know.
I know. I think it was. And I think there'll be a few PSG fans out there which, as you said, I do agree with you. I think maybe there'll be a few out there who think, do you know what? We can actually go out and win this year because of the other big teams struggling. The
point was as well, as we talked about, was that mental problem as Diallo comes over, and I thought that was a foul as Ballo-Touré was attacking down the left, but doesn't get anything for that. I'm just looking again. I think that's a foul. Yeah,
I would have given that as foul. It's not a strong foul, but it is one of those that you'd expect the referee to give, and Ballo-Touré is a little bit unfair there in terms of the actual not be giving them as foul is what I wanted to say. Carl Putting, you think PSG should be winning this year with the 200 mil, Neymar, Mbappe and others. And then Ismail's in the stream. He says, hello bro, I'm from Macedonia. Good, thank you very much for joining us in the stream. Very greatly appreciated as always.
He'll be very happy after Macedonia's results last week, getting into the Euros for first time in a very long time, if maybe the first time ever, I'm not quite sure.
Indeed.
I'm not on my Macedonian history, sadly.
He'll know a little bit more than we do, but certainly with Goran Pandev down there. But 18 minutes on the clock, we're getting towards the 19th minute of this match. Of course, we've got the timer up on the screen for what we're currently seeing in this game, and it's still 0-0, and we haven't had... we've only had one shot on target so far, which will be the Kevin Volland free kick that was hit straight at Keylor Navas. Apart from that, PSG have looked fairly quiet on the attack as Monaco come forward here, a ball sprayed to the right-hand side, and there's a little bit of an awkward ball, and the referee's going to come back for a free kick as Tuchemani goes down, and a yellow card is given to Danilo Pereira, and we're only 20 minutes in, Kieran. I think the last thing Danilo would want were to get a nice early card in this game. Yeah,
this is it. You just attack his side constantly, and when you're breaking, you hope that he makes a silly mistake and drags you down, makes a cynical tackle. Because, let's be honest, PSG this opening quarter, they've not been at the free-flowing best. They've been quite poor on the ball. Off the ball in structure-wise, they've been alright, but in terms of passing it around the pitch, they've been giving it away. But then again, sadly, Monaco aren't capitalising, and they too are giving the ball away.
Exactly. I think the best player on the pitch, as we said earlier, is Gelson Martin so far. I think Ballatore had a good few runs in this game. And you can quite clearly see both sides are missing in this first 20 minutes. Maybe it might change, but they're both missing, the key players. Neymar's on the bench tonight, but he adds that little bit of extra flair to this team that maybe someone like a Moise Kean, for example, isn't going to bring. Moise Kean has been fantastic for them so far. And, well, technically, you could even say maybe someone like Sarabia rather than Kean, because I think Kean would play anywhere.
Yeah.
But, he's got a bit more pace and a bit more skill. And then for Monaco, you can quite clearly see as well tonight that they're lacking that extra bit of pace up top in Ben Yedder.
It's a different structure for PSG as well. We're used to seeing them doing a 4-3-3, but instead they decided to go with a 4-4-2 today. So, Di Maria has found himself very much wide and not really on the ball, whereas when he's on that wing, usually you see him driving at defences. But it's great footwork in the middle by Rafinha, and he ends up giving it away, which is a shame. But that can be said for most of this first half, just giving the ball away.
It has been. It's been largely played in the middle of the field tonight, which is it's not been a bad first 20 minutes. There's been a few games on this channel over the last few months where we've looked at them and gone, they've been a bit boring so far. Yeah. Both teams have had little small chances here and there, but we really do need a goal in this game to liven it up, because right now both teams just lacking that extra edge in terms of finishing. But just look at the chat right now. Chris has put, I'm watching the darts. I can't miss it when my teams Liverpool and Carlisle aren't playing. Who do you think will win the Euros? Which will answer that in a question. Chris, by any chance do you know when Gary Anderson is playing? It's a very random question indeed. Do you know when Gary Anderson's playing? Because I've tried to look and I can't find it. But the actual question, who do you think is going to win the Euros?
His three teams are France's A team, France's B team and France's C team.
Well, that's how scary France are, isn't it? They could have a D team as well that'd be better than England.
I'll be honest, I've said for a long time that I think it was like maybe a year or so, I've said the Netherlands, but now they've got Frank de Boer in charge. I don't have any faith in Netherlands. I'll stick with it for now, because I've said Netherlands for a long time, so I won't top and tail. We'll go with Netherlands, but I don't trust it under Frank de Boer. Not a chance he's winning a bloody national tournament.
Do you know what the thing with the Euros is? It's a very similar situation to the Champions League, that there's so many international nations right now that are struggling and really do need to go on and win a tournament, because, France, I don't think they've struggled. I think for a lot of people, France will be the favourite this year to win it. I think Spain, I think they'll now be up there to win it after that Germany performance, and they've not looked majorly convincing. I think they've got still a lot of work to do, and of course they'll want to go on and win another competition, because it's been quite a while since we've seen them win some. Italy, they've looked very quiet over the last couple of years. I remember when they didn't make was it the World Cup that they didn't make? It was one of the World Cup or the previous Euros that they didn't make because they missed out.
I think it was were they in last year's World Cup or 2018? I don't think
they were in the World Cup. Yeah, they missed out in terms of qualifications. So they'll want to have a better tournament, as you said, with the Netherlands. They're through going through a period of rejuvenation. And although I don't think we have a long range effort here again, this time from Monaco, which is wide of the mark indeed, and it was Florentino, wasn't it, who took the shot on
Fofana.
there? Fofana.
Yeah, Florentino's on the bench.
He is, sadly.
Nearly hit him though. It was that far wide. But no, it was a long range effort. And that, to be fair, that's kind of due to the defensive structure of both teams. They've been really well, and that's not what we say about these teams very often. Because of course, the day we watch them, they decide
we'll actually start defending.
Yeah, of course. But long range efforts is what both teams have been kind of relying on for their shots at goal. But as you say, another team that this is the problem is they rarely get mentioned, but it's so perfect for them is Portugal. Yeah. They go under the radar every single year. They did that last time, and no one gave them a chance in hell.
Well, that was the thing, wasn't it? They were at one point where it looked like they were going out of the tournament, and then they just flicked the switch and went through all the way.
They got out of the group without winning a game, which is unbelievable. They drew every single game. And I think up until the semi-final, they hadn't won a game in 90 minutes.
Which is mad when you think about it.
It's just unbelievable. But I love it, and I'll always remember what the manager said. They are the ugly duckling of international football. It's never pretty. No one cares about them.
Yeah.
But they just get the job done. And most of the time, if you're getting the job done and no one's talking about you, that's when you're at your best. It's when people start putting pressure on you that you may falter, which is kind of the same I'd say about Leicester for long periods of last season. They just weren't talked about until you notice they were in the top 4 by Christmas.
And even now, they still don't get talked about. We've seen them over the last couple of years become a very consistent Premier League side, and yet again, they're still not talked about as we might have the first big chance of the game, because there's a good chance here he's 1-on-1 with Mbappe, and that is the first goal of the game. And it was the simplest of finishes for Mbappe. It's 1-0 to PSG, and it was just that long ball to him. Simple finish, Kieran.
Yep, it's that simple thing for PSG. If you knock it in behind, the pace of Mbappe, he can outrun pretty much any centre-back in the world and no one will get close. It was a ball in the middle. It was picked up by Di Maria and he saw the run. He just through-balled it from centre field for Mbappe to run onto, and he outpaces the centre-back. I'm not sure if it was Badiashile or Toure. I'm not quite sure. I can't see from the back of his shirt. And he's just finessed it past Disasi. There we go. And he's just hit it past Vito Manoni into the top left-hand corner from the on-rushing pass.
Well, it's not hard for him because Vito Manoni is already on the ground before Mbappe's even taken on the shot, which I'm guessing, of course, he's expected him to drive it low, and it's just a really good finish. And we said earlier this game, it needed the first goal of the match to really kickstart the game, and who else was going to score, let's be real, apart from Kylian Mbappe.
It's such a shame for Monaco. They've been really good. I think maybe they got a bit too comfortable in the game, and they started to, commit a few men forward, and it just left them for that route one pass through the middle from Di Maria to Mbappe in such a simple finish.
But now, ultimately, it puts them into the same situation because they are going to have to press numbers forward to get an equaliser in this match. So, in terms of how the tactics have played out so far, I mean, they don't have to go for it necessarily too early. We're only 25 minutes into the match, but they're still going to have to press maybe 1 or 2 extra numbers forward to go and get that equaliser, because PSG are the type of team where I think if the way that Monaco are playing right now, they've looked very comfortable in this first 25 minutes, but look how easy was that for them to just break down that Monaco back line.
Yeah, I just think it was a case of the side becoming a little bit complacent. They'd had a lot of good spells of possession in the game. They had probably the better attacks in the game, and they just switched off. And when you switch off against the likes of Di Maria and Mbappe, it's just pure pace. That's what gets them through, and the talent does the rest. It was a simple ball. Disasi can't catch up. Again, young back line, very naive, and that's what they've exploited. But Monaco, I wouldn't get too alarmed. Don't panic too much. You were playing well. Just switch on at the back to them long balls, and you're fine as Balotelli's on this left.
I think that's one thing a lot of teams do in France, especially when they play PSG, is they try to stay conservative against them for as much of the game as they possibly can, and then when they concede, it tends to turn into a bit of panic. Hence why you see a lot of teams get dispatched, 4, 5, 6-0, because PSG take advantage of that, and you can see there's some space here for PSG to come forward again. And the one worry is, we said about it in this match, that it could become a rout in this game, but so far, Moise Kean giving the ball away there, it's a good chance for PSG wasted. But I'm looking at the comments. Chris said it's tomorrow night. Thank you very much, Chris. I didn't know when it was on. Trying to find out when it was on, which is a nightmare, but at least I know now. And then Carl's put, I don't see Germany getting out of their group, and that was another one I would have said.
Depends on the group. I think it's already been drawn, hasn't it?
I think, it's the France, Portugal, Germany group. and Hungary. It's the group of death, isn't it? So,
but they do still have that thing where best third place goes through.
But I don't think one of those sides will be going through just because of how tough that group is right now.
Yes, Dagba takes a dodgy touch and he hasn't quite cleared his lines, and it allows Diop to get control of the ball.
But I don't think enough players press forward there to seek a chance of an attack, which means, well, it's a very slow build-up play here for Monaco to try and get an equaliser. Well,
the thing is, we mentioned that Gelson Martins takes it past Kazawa and lashes his cross. It's poor from him. But he does have Kazawa, worried and backtracking every time he gets the ball. Ballatore provided great width going forward for Monaco, but the problem is that side of the field is completely open when he goes forward. So you have to draw the line between, helping your team, creating some width, but then being caught out at the other end, which you're going to have to try tonight to find that perfect balance. And it will be tough for the lad.
It will be indeed. I think it'll be tough for the whole team. Mm-hmm. They're so young, so inexperienced. I do think maybe having a cool head on the pitch now, maybe like a Fabregas in the midfield would probably help them out slightly. Some with a bit of experience, but then at the same time, Fabregas probably doesn't have the legs to run a 90-minute match anymore, which is a bit of a shame for him. But look, they've had a few decent opportunities to come forward in this game. They're just really missing Ben Yedder tonight.
Yep, and it's when they give balls away like this, and it's a long ball over the top, and they've been caught out on the back.
Flick that to Keane.
Mbappe's through. Great defending, and that is Badiashile. That's really good defending.
That's really good defending. At the same time, it's just a really poor pass from Mbappe. I mean, it's great defending from the young Frenchman, but Mbappe in that situation, it's pretty much 2-on-1. Keane's coming forward, he calls for the ball, Mbappe notices him, and just lets the ball out a little bit too late. And by the time he's done it, Badiashile's got the touch on the ball, and that could be a massive piece of defensive work in this game, because we could have been saying 2-0 after half an hour.
Yeah, definitely. More naivety from the Monaco backline. You can't play a high line against this team because Mbappe will run in behind all day long. And that's exactly what he did. He starts his run in his own half. I think Badiashile does well. He doesn't commit. He lets Mbappe make the decision and can cover both bases. So really good defending in that instance. Has got some people in the chat.
We do indeed. Augiers, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for joining us. And Queen Girls as well. Thank you for joining us. Nice to see some new faces in the stream. If you have enjoyed the watch along so far, then do leave a like and subscription as always, as AS Monaco get a free kick here from just inside their own box. Moise Keane with a foul. And then Chris has put, should the 5-sub rule return in the Premier League? I don't know if it's going to be done, if they're doing it there in France, which I believe they are. Yeah. But in the Premier League, of course, we know, if you watch a lot of English football, that the Championship has just recently introduced the rule back into play. Should the Premier League bring it back?
Yeah, because the injuries are... Well, now there's no international break, I don't think it'll have as much effect as they've brought the back line in. Goebbels is across the box, I should say. Volland just didn't gamble on it, and it just trickles out to the opposing side. But yes, they should bring back the 5-subs rule, I think, because injuries-wise, it's really not helping.
Yeah, it's already a congested fixture list with how this season's panning out, and as you said, maybe now we won't see as many injuries because of the international break. But what's scary is there is not really a break for the clubs anyway, because we're now into the winter period. So it is a case of having games every 3 or 4 days. For your Premier League side, some teams have got Carabao Cup action in a few weeks in terms of the knockout stages. You've got, of course, FA Cup. There's a mistake at the back!
Oh, he's missed it!
And he's missed it!
Oh, unbelievable. The cross came in. It didn't look dangerous at all. Kazawa went to nonchalantly head it back to Keylor Navas. It's a bouncing ball, and Goebbels gets in front of Kimpembe, but he just can't redirect it into the back of the net. He just puts it wide. Ben Yedder scores that.
I don't know. I think in that situation, you just have to gamble on getting a touch on the ball, and unfortunately for him, I think it's just a case of he's looked up, seen that the ball's been given away, and of course you don't have much time. In fact, you don't have any time to be able to react on how you want to head the ball down, but it's unlucky, and you can quite clearly see there the defensive frailties of this PSG side. They can be exposed, and we've seen it 2 or 3 times in this game where PSG maybe been a little lucky to have not had Monaco having a chance on target, or quite clearly there a moment ago, a goal in the back of the net.
Well, yeah, they've made mistakes. Dagba had that one where not many people were forward, but Diop managed to nick the ball off him. And then we've just had that one with Kazawa, who just tried to head it back to Keylor Navas and nearly headed it into the path of Goebbels. Sadly, he didn't quite get it on target, but I think, again, it was a tough one for the man, but a better striker with more veteran instincts may have seen that coming and got it into the back of the net, sadly.
Definitely. Big chance there for AS Monaco in this game. Chris has just put for the 5 sub rule, I got an idea. We know Manchester City got a first team on the bench. All teams should be allowed to sub 3 first team players. And the other 2 subs, they have to bring on a player from under 21s. I mean, you know what? That doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Not everyone has that, though. Not everyone has the best under 21s, do they?
And they've already got an under 21 side anyway, which will be playing other fixtures at the same time. So I guess then you're looking at even more congestion for younger players, which...
But I do like the influence of homegrown, like, you know, because it does stop the teams that spend, Man City, that spend billions and billions of pounds. You know, the likes of Delap can get a bit more games.
And Doyle as well.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, big Tommy Doyle.
Big Tommy Doyle. I know about they're squeezing Phil Foden one as one of the under 21 players, but I like that idea as homegrown talents, getting them into the squad and that. But we're just about to reach the 35th minute of this match. Currently, as it stands, PSG 1, AS Monaco 0 for the first kind of 25 minutes. It wasn't the most enthralling game in the world. Both teams were having a few little chances here and there, but Mbappe, one long ball over the top to the French striker, the young striker, somehow scary to say he's only in his early 20s. Put the ball into the back of the net. Very simple finish for him. 1-0 to PSG. And it looks like we could have another chance for them to come forward here.
They have, and Rafinha's done a very nice pirouette in the middle, and it's a lovely back heel from Di Maria back to Rafinha. It's chipped towards the back post. It's penalty.
Oh, he's given a penalty.
He has.
I thought he was giving a corner then.
No.
Oh, well, I was about to say, if that went into the back of the net, that would have been an absolutely beautiful goal. And we talked about Rafinha earlier. What a lovely bit of trickery there. But penalty's been given. Kieran, talk us through what's happened.
Well, we saw the interlink play. It was a pirouette by Rafinha, and then he passed it into Di Maria. It was a lovely one too with the back heel. And as he's going to cross the ball, Fofana, is it Fofana? He tracks the run well, and he tries to stop the cross. But in stopping the cross, he takes out Rafinha, and he's gone down in a heap of pain, and rightly so. It's a penalty.
It is indeed, and well, this is a big opportunity for Mbappe to get his second goal of the game. We're only 35 minutes in. We said it could become a rout. Nervy time now. Can Vito Manone, of all people, be the hero? Mbappe against Manone.
Never thought I'd say that in my life.
But no, I don't think anyone thought they'd be saying that in their life.
No, but he does step up, and might come back to the same old for AS Monaco, having chances but just not putting them in.
Certainly, indeed. Here he is. Mbappe looking cool and calm. Manone is up against the referee, blowing his whistle. Just take a little bit of time here for this penalty to be taken. Just, I think, calling a few players to go back, of course, behind the line, just to make sure that this doesn't have to be retaken again. But we're all ready now. Mbappe steps up to the spot, takes his time, and it's just into that bottom right-hand corner. I thought for a second we were going to be saying Manone saved it, but it's 2-0 PSG, and Mbappe is at the double.
Yeah, too much power for poor Vito Manone. He dived the right way, but he couldn't quite get a fingertip on it. It's such a good penalty. But again, Monaco, they've been in the game, arguably the better side in the game, but they're just not clinical going forward, and this PSG side can cut you when you're at your strongest. That's the problem.
Certainly can indeed. 2 goals, 35 minutes on the clock. Mbappe, as I said, he's at the double in this game, and well, it's very unfortunate for Monaco in the context of the match, but PSG won't care right now because they've got 2 goals. We've got 10 minutes left of this second half. It really could become a rout with how things have been in this match. Yeah,
it could, but I'd like to hope for this young Monaco team that they're not on the back end of a rout, because they haven't been bad, and this is what Niko Kovac might have to tell them at half-time as Danilo Pereira goes in strong, and he's got to be careful because he's on a yellow card, and what a way to spice up the game that would have been.
That would have been very interesting indeed if we had a red card 37 minutes in with PSG 2-0 up.
He's got to be careful.
Well, exactly. He's a very rash player. You know, as much as we said, he's a good player that can break the play up and, you know, stop teams from, you know, counter-attacking, and he'll go in with a dirty tackle. Maybe sometimes he can go in a little bit too dirty in games and be a little bit reckless. And I think I don't know whether I'm right or not. I feel like he might have already been sent off at some point this season for PSG. I'm probably wrong.
Everyone's been sent off in this league, I swear to God. With the amount of red cards that get given, everyone's been sent off.
It's mad indeed. But let's have a look at the chat, see what you guys have been saying. I'll read your question out in a second, Kyle. Chris has put Carlisle midfielder John Mellish, he's talked about in terms of who would be the best player in the world.
Yeah, I did say that.
11 goals in 11 games is a great stat. But the question he did ask, if Ronaldo and Messi just gave up and retired tomorrow, who would be the new best player in the world?
Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think Kylian Mbappe is at that level already. As a long ball has got to be dealt with defensively.
My lord. My lord, it's 3-0 and this is becoming embarrassing.
Offside!
But
I don't know how they've given that as offside.
He's still celebrating. And now he's realised he's offside.
How?
I think this will be checked by VAR, which it is indeed. And Kieran, talk us through that, because this is proof of how weak this back line is.
Yeah, Presnel Kimpembe just hits a long ball forward and it's just bouncing slowly, and Badiashile goes to head it back to Vito Manone like Kazawa did earlier, and Moise Kean jumped on the run. He knew what he was going to do, and that's a more experienced striker right there, and he just prods it past Vito Manone, but the flag has gone up. Is it against Mbappe originally when the long ball gets played over and he's offside? Because he is miles offside, but I don't know.
I think this will be given as a goal, to be honest. I'd be very surprised if it isn't 3-0 PSG in a second. And he's certainly not the most experienced player on the pitch or in European football, but Moise Kean is having an absolute party right now in France in terms of scoring goals. And we're going to see here in a second, because VAR is intervening with this chance that PSG put into the back of the net. And Moise Kean, just how good has he been in this PSG side?
Oh, he's offside.
As the goal's been given offside.
What?
What I'd like to see here, and I don't think they're going to show it, just the lines.
I don't know what for. Because if he's from the header, you can't give that as offside, because that was obviously a mistake. It was meant to be going back to the goalkeeper, and if it's from the opposition, it never gets given. So I don't know if it was Mbappe with the long ball forward, but we'll have to see. But a big let-off for this Monaco team, and hopefully a little bit of a confidence boost as they strike from range again, and it's miles wide. But massive let-off for Badiashile at the back.
Major let-off. I don't know what he's thinking in that situation to go and head it back, because I swear he looks up and sees Keane is there. So, of course, Keane is going to make the run like any natural striker is going to do. You play to the whistle. And, of course, now in this day and age, with the new rule coming into play of the offside flag coming up after the phase of play is finished, it does make for very frustrating moments, and I feel like I say it every week, but it's an annoying rule. It's so frustrating because the amount of times we've seen really good goals scored from offside situations is frustrating. But this one certainly wasn't a good goal, and Monaco very grateful, I think, that VAR's intervened.
Yeah, well, the official technically got it right, even though I'm not quite sure what it was for. We'll have to get some clarification on that. I just don't know what it is. Is Ballo-Torres long ball into box again? Just a bit poor from Monaco. But as we say, it's kind of a little bit of a capitulation towards the end of the half for Monaco after a really positive start.
But they need to tighten up now. I don't think it's a case of trying to get a goal back before half time. I think now it is a case of a mistake at the back here. But luckily enough, PSG are just able to clear the ball away. I think it was Diallo there who just done a bit of work to hoof the ball away. Dangerous situation, but they just need to get into half time now at 2-0. Don't try and concede any more goals in this match as PSG look to come forward again, because if it comes 3-0 at half time, it's going to be a very, very impossible comeback, I think. I don't see Monaco scoring one right now as Di Maria flicks the ball into the box, trying to get it towards Moise Kean. It's another poor header, and Kean tries to desperately hit it on the volley and somehow doesn't get the right connection but gets the ball back. But it could be eventually cleared away by this Monaco back line. Some
majorly sloppy defending from just a nothing chip through ball by Di Maria, who tries to dink it over the back line. Disassi just mistimes his header completely. But luckily for him, Moise Kean mistimed his volley and the air shot led to nothing. But so I don't know what's happened since Monaco started towards the end of this half. I don't know if the wind just got knocked out of them.
I think it's what we talked about earlier. A lot of these Ligue 1 teams, they come up against PSG, they look to stay tight and compact. And then the instant minute they concede the goal, like any obviously team against one of the big sides, you don't know what to do. Do you sit back and try and hit them on the break and hope that you don't concede any more? Or do you look to push numbers up the pitch, try and get an equaliser? And I think 9 times out of 10, teams try to stay conservative and especially in Ligue, I think over any other league, usually those smaller teams are a little bit too weak to kind of stop this PSG side from attacking. And Monaco, as sad as it is to say, we talked about them earlier, they're not the world-class side of a couple of years ago, and that lack of experience in the back line is costing them.
Yeah, the problem is, without condescending them, they're a good...
Oh, they hit the bar. Moise
PSG.
Kean, we were saying it is going to be a night, he's a night and he's going to be a party in France. He just hit the bar now. Bloody hell.
It was a lovely switch ball, and then the cross from Pablo Sarabia was headed into the ground by Moise Kean, but it bounced off the ground and up onto the bar.
It could be another chance anyway, and it is 3-0 in the end, but it's going to be a hat-trick for Mbappe. It will count.
Unbelievable.
First half hat-trick. He's finally 3-0. It's not Keane. Mbappe has a hat-trick. FIFA fans will be loving it right now.
I mean, it comes again from just Monaco. They've come under waves of attack towards the end. And this has become a very, very embarrassing scoreline now. And it doesn't really come from much. As a through ball by Dagba, I think we will get the lines out. It's a through ball by Dagba onto the on-rushing Mbappe, who chips it over the legs of Vito Manon. It's Diallo. My apologies. What do you think? I think they'll have to get the lines out.
I don't know whether they will get the lines out in this situation, just because of what we've seen a moment ago. Minone, again, he drops down to the ground. I've got to say he's had a pretty poor performance tonight when it comes to the key situations. That's twice now he's been chipped by Mbappe in that situation. But I guess there's nothing you can really do when you come up against a striker like Mbappe. But I think here, of course, as the players walk back to the touchline...
It's offside, I told you!
He's been given as an offside.
I told you to check the
They've
lines.
let off again.
I told you to check the lines because he looked ever so slightly off to me, and that is why we checked it. So it's not a first half hat trick for Mbappe, it's not a first half goal for Moise Kean, and I don't know which AS Monaco player found a 4-leaf clover this morning, but they are getting very, very lucky.
They are indeed. Very, very lucky. Even BT right now doesn't know what the score is. They were about to sort it out as we go into additional time. And
my God.
This first 25 minutes was fairly quiet. It's really livened up now. But we could have been sat here, which of course we'll talk about at half time. We could have been sat here with it being 4-0 as we get 1 minute of additional time somehow.
I don't know how with the amount of VAR checks we've had.
Are they just trying to stop Monaco from conceding any more, I think?
Well, that I hope so, because they could have been at least 4 or 5 down in this second half already. My thing is with PSG, they've not looked solid defensively. They have in structure-wise, but they have made mistakes. But Monaco don't punish them. Whereas when Monaco make mistakes, there is no let-off from PSG. They are really, really clinical, and Monaco have given the ball away again. And Mbappe will probably finish the half with the ball at his feet as he cuts in field.
I thought we were going to be saying for a second there, is this going to be our third potential chance at making it 3-0 on the night? But 4 seconds left on the clock here. The referee has the whistle in his mouth, and as you would expect, he blows his whistle, and at half-time of this fixture, it is AS Monaco 0, Paris Saint-Germain 2, and of course, it's been a pretty rough night so far for AS Monaco. It was the first 25 minutes where they looked pretty tight and compact, and things were going quite well for them. It looked like it was going to be a fairly even game of football, but then the first chance came. It was a long ball towards Mbappe in the 26th minute of the match. He was able to chip Vito Manone and put the ball into the back of the net. The second goal came from a penalty. Badiashile with the tackle on Rafinha inside of the box. He got the yellow card, and when Mbappe put the ball into the bottom right-hand corner, it was a very, very simple finish indeed for the French forward. And then we had 2 potential goals to make it 3-0 in the match. The first came from Moise Kean. It was just an awful mistake at the back from the Monaco back line. Kean was there, prodded it into the back of the net, but eventually it was given as offside, which I'd be interested to see at half-time, and I don't know whether it was shown or not, what they've deciphered that kind of on to give it as an offside, but of course it didn't count anyway. A moment later then, Moise Kean hit the bar, which just doesn't seem like it's going to be his night now, doesn't it? When 5 minutes ago we were saying it was going to be his night. And then finally, we had another goal in the game. Kylian Mbappe was a very similar situation indeed. It pretty much was the exact same goal. He chipped Vito Manone inside of the box, but it was just given marginally as offside, and somehow we're sat here at half-time saying it's only 2-0 to PSG. As you said, the 4-leaf clover is out tonight for Monaco.
Yeah.
How lucky have they been?
Very lucky. Unfortunately, they've not had enough of the ball to make me think it might be their night, which I would have, I would have liked to say, maybe all the looks going their way, but they just don't look good enough. And I tell you what, it's mad because without the penalty, we'd still be sat here at 1-0, which I think would be a fair disservice to Paris Saint-Germain. But in terms of that first half, I think Monaco started very well. I think they weren't really troubled by PSG at all, but the moment that they started hitting through balls in behind the Monaco back line that was very, very high and just left acres of space for the likes of Mbappe and Moise Kean to run into. That's where they got their problems from. And in the second half, I think it might be more of the same, to be honest.
I think it will be. Yeah, we'll have a look at the bench in a moment, of course, and we'll have a look to see who can be brought on in the game. Remember, of course, there's 5 substitutes across the board. But PSG tonight, we looked at the 2 lineups, which if you haven't seen the lineups, I'll put them on the screen for you now. Of course, you can see the Monaco lineup. It's quite clearly lacking one very important player in this side that usually tends to be the man to put the ball into the back of the net and give them plenty of goals. But the question is, Drebels and Volland, we've not really seen much of them tonight. We saw, Drebels miss a very important header. Volland had that free kick. How much are they really missing there, Ben Yedder, tonight?
There just doesn't seem to be someone that has the right instincts in the box. So there's been some half-decent crosses. That one from Goebbels, I remember, that was across the face of goal on the floor. A good striker's gambling on that, and he's throwing himself at it. Kevin Volland's still halfway up the box, not really tracking that run, so it's difficult for the strikers tonight. Have they had much to go off? They've had a few defensive mistakes, but no one again has that instinct. So I think with Ben Yedder, we might have a few more chances, and I think possibly we could have had maybe a goal for Monaco, because he does bring that finishing that it's just been lacking for Monaco.
And he does, doesn't he? And
yeah.
I mean, you can look back and say that was Drebel's situation. As I said, you can look at it in the respect because he's a young player. He only just looks up and it's just an instant reaction of just get my head on the ball and hope it goes into the back of the net. It goes wide, it hits the side netting. As you said, someone like Ben Yedder in that situation could have maybe used their experience and their knowledge of capitalising on mistakes to put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Then in that situation, it's 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
We could be looking at a very different game indeed, but we're looking at that and we're looking at a lot of what-if situations, which unfortunately, as much as you can look at 100 what-if situations, it's all about what's going on the pitch. You perfectly kind of said it when we started this game. The back line tonight of Monaco, and the back line that they've got 4 this season that they're relying on, is very inexperienced. As you said, pretty much the best player, the oldest player on the pitch, if you're not including Marapan on the bench, it is around 24.
Yeah.
The experience tonight has not been seen on the pitch by that back line at all. This
is where both teams differ, in my opinion. You see Presnel Kimpembe tonight. He's a young lad himself. He's not the oldest, but he's captains and he has years of experience playing in this PSG team. And when they've made mistakes defensively, I've seen him sweep up mistakes 5 or 6 times in this second half. Whereas if you make a mistake in the Monaco backline, sadly, I don't see anyone there that is going to say, "Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Let's get this out." And they're structured in the way they like to play, but when you're playing that high line, you're just going to get torn apart by the likes of Mbappe because he's so quick and he's so talented. You just need to adapt, and I think with this Monaco team, they're very plan A. I just don't see plan B, which is not Niko Kovac's fault, because this team is so young and it's really difficult. You want them to get plan A right first.
Yeah, exactly. Which, if they're not getting that right, what can you do in this situation?
Yeah, you don't want to overcomplicate it.
No.
We don't want to teach them like the babies, but they're young footballers. They're trying to learn the game at the very highest level. Credit to them for being 6th, to be honest, with such a young team. They're a very plucky, entertaining side. But in a game like this, I don't think we'll see the day where they can go toe-to-toe with PSG just yet. And it's unfortunate.
And it comes back to the point that it's fantastic they're in 6th, but when they've come up against some of these bigger teams, they have, not fallen short. They've collapsed. The Lyon game, they collapsed big time in that match. PSG tonight, they've collapsed in this first 45 minutes of action. And I mean, for those of you that missed the PSG side, it's on the screen right now. Do tell us in the chat, by the way, if you are watching again, what you thought of this match so far, because that first 25 minutes was fairly quiet, but it's turned into such an entertaining affair, to be honest, for PSG. But you can see in this team. We spoke at the beginning of the game about how maybe Danilo Pereira and Rafinha wasn't going to be the strongest midfield in the world compared to what they usually have with somebody like a Marco Verratti. But when we've looked at it tonight, obviously Danilo Pereira got an early yellow card in the game, 20 minutes in. But you have to say, one player that seems to be pulling the strings quite well, Rafinha.
Yeah.
Of course, getting the penalty from the foul a few moments ago.
Yeah, he hasn't been bad. He's been surprisingly good, and in terms of the creativity, it's weird because usually when we see him in an attacking midfield role, he does bring that. But tonight he's been a bit more regimented in that centre midfield position. Yeah. He's not been caught out, wandering into his usual positions. He's had some nice things on the ball, that roulette that led up to the penalty and getting the penalty itself, just using his experience. He's been around amazing players for a long period of time.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's been around the block, it's fair to say.
He's played with Messi, Neymar and Mbappe, which, there's certain players that could only dream of doing that.
Aspas.
Of course, you've got to include Iago Aspas in there, but he's one of those where, on a free deal, we said about it earlier, you certainly can't complain indeed, but fantastic performance so far from PSG in this game. It's 2-0 at half-time. And of course, we've got to look into the second half as well, because you can see on your screen right now some of the substitutes that could come on in this game. I believe, and I'm going to check now just to make sure that my facts are correct, that the substitution rule does take place in the league.
I think it does.
I just want to make sure that we're spot on here. 3 substitutes there.
Yeah,
it does there. Indeed. I didn't want to say it without knowing whether it was right or not. Does, yeah. But we've got the substitutes right now. As Peter puts, you want to know something about Moise Keane. Moise is very keen. Peter's back. We love you, Peter. We've missed you, buddy. Looking at the substitutes right now. God bless you, mate. Look at the substitutes right now. You can see both teams not having a large amount of substitutes to bring on. On the left-hand side, for Monaco, they've got the veteran of the centre-backs, which is quite crazy to say, Guillermo Marapan, the Chilean centre-back. They've got the experience of Cesc Fabregas, who could come on in midfield at some point in this game, a little bit more creative if they're looking to try and get a goal or two back in the match. Stefan Jovetic was doing incredible for Montenegro in the international fixtures. I'm quite surprised he didn't start tonight, actually, in this game. He seems to be certainly rebuilding his career. And Florentino Luis as well is on the bench. Looking at that Monaco side, first of all, who do you think could come on in this game and maybe try and change things up?
Well, as I say, I've watched quite a decent bit of Niko Kovac's side, and he doesn't shy away from making changes. He made 3 at half-time in the Lyon game when they weren't doing well, and one of them was Chao Enrique. I remember him coming on. They didn't make much difference to the game, I'll completely admit that, but he's not afraid to make changes. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some at half-time. I'll be 100% honest. But on the PSG side, even if you do make a few changes, there's going to be a few coming on from there. The likes of Neymar, just him alone makes complete sense. And there's a few young lads on there as well.
I was going to say that. If you kind of look at it, it's very half and half. Half of it is the kind of experienced players who could come on, of course. Marquinhos and Neymar have been on international duty, so it's one of those where, of course, they've been on such a long distance of travelling. It makes it very awkward for them to just come straight back into the team compared to the likes of Danilo Pereira and Mbappe. But you've got Marquinhos on there, you've got Paredes as well, another one who's been on international duty in South America, I believe. Florenzi could come on at some point in the game if you want to go a little bit attacking. And then you've got the youngsters as well. Mitchell Backer's in there, you've got Timothy Pembele, you've got Bandiugu Fadiga who could come on in the match, which I've got to say is an absolutely fantastic name. Love it. And then you've got Kais Ruiz Atil who could come on. Do you think we might see... well, it's not really a gamble. I mean, when you look right now, of course, 2-0 up, maybe expecting a few more goals in this game. Do you think Tuchel looks at it and think, well, why not bring on some youngsters for a good bit of experience?
That is exactly what I was thinking, to be honest with you, Josh. I was thinking, if you're Thomas Tuchel, this game has gone perfectly. You're not being troubled. You don't need to bring on Neymar or Paredes. I know he's not too fussed about Paredes, but Marquinhos either. These guys have been on long trips from South America. Just leave them on the bench for a bit, to be honest. Just let the lads on the pitch take over and bring on some young players, get a bit of experience for them, in this thing, innit? You know what, we might see a pitch that has an average age of about 21 and a half or something like that if you bring on some more young players.
Potentially, which of course across the board certainly wouldn't be too bad for the record books. But as it currently stands right now, AS Monaco 0, PSG 2. We should be getting back into the second half in just a moment's time. Callum's put not watching the match but listening to Watchalong and Sports Corner. Not sure if you guys have heard of it, but check out the lads.
Oh.
You should check it out. God bless you, Carl. You're an absolute legend. And then Peter's put, you want to know something about Jesus Corona? Jesus loves a bottle of Corona.
Well, I have heard Jesus, he turned water into wine. You didn't hear the story where he turned water into Corona, which was the forgotten part of the thing. But I love Peter. I'm happy he's here.
I love the way Peter just comes in. He just brings the jokes. We love it.
It just comes in unannounced and drops a few football name and they're all football related as well.
Yeah, exactly. He's an absolute genius. Perfection. We love it, Peter. Keep them coming as always. But it's not just the jokes that keep on coming. It's also plenty of other content on the channel as well. Because you can see tomorrow we're back at 5:15. Me and KD will be live with Tottenham versus Manchester City. That should be an absolute classic in the Premier League. Straight after that, it's going to be Atletico Madrid versus Barcelona from 7:50. I believe it's going to be me and Rowan for that live stream. On Tuesday, we've got the goal show in the Champions League, Groups E to H, includes the likes of Manchester City, Barcelona, PSG, and Dortmund playing. Then the day afterwards, it's Groups A to D in Match Day 4. Should be good indeed with all the boys covering the games live. And then on Thursday, our Europa League watch-along is going to be Nice versus Slavia Prague, if we can access the games. If not, well, God knows what's going to happen, because BT Sport in the UK has had problems with covering Europa League fixtures, so we'll have to see what happens there. But if not, it could be Braga versus Leicester at 5, so keep your eyes out for now. But there's plenty more content to come on the channel, as always, over the next few days. Some big games indeed still to come, including that massive match in the Premier League between Manchester City and Tottenham, of course, which is tomorrow. Should be a good game indeed. But what do Monaco do? That's the question. We spoke about it quite a lot in the first half. With 10 minutes left, do you stay conservative and try and hope that PSG don't score a few more goals, which of course we've seen they've tried staying conservative and it hasn't worked so far?
Yeah.
Or do you take a gamble and try and match them system-wise and go a bit more attacking?
I'll be honest, a little bit of me just hopes if they're going to lose, why not lose by 6? Yeah. Because what does it matter? And I don't mean that in a harsh way, but for them, they're not expected to come here and beat PSG. Well, they're at home, I know, but not to beat PSG. They're not really the strongest team. But I think overall there will be changes to this Monaco team, and I wouldn't be surprised if they happen at half time. Maybe you bring on Jovetic. I know he's not out of favour at Monaco. He's just not really had the game time, and that's why they brought in Kevin Volland. Just someone with a bit more experience up top. Maybe he can hold the ball up a little bit better than Goebbels can. So maybe a bit of that, but there's not a strong bench for Thingy tonight. So do you think bring on Fabregas? He can create some chances. It's just a really tough one with Monaco because they don't quite have the depth anymore, do they?
No, they don't. I'll come to it in seconds. Peter's put, you want to know something about Carlisle midfielder Callum Guy? Callum is a guy.
That's true.
Honestly.
It's true.
We bloody love you, Peter. He's not wrong. Callum is a guy.
Callum is a guy.
He's not wrong at all, but coming back to your point, as you perfectly put, it's one of those where it's not really a strong bench, and I don't think there's much Monaco could do about it to make that bench slightly stronger. It's one of those where, do they go on and bring on a Jovetic in the game and a little bit more experience in this match? As I said, done very well internationally over the last few kind of weeks for Montenegro. Do they bring on Fabregas, which in fact they've already made a change? They're going to bring on Caio Henrique, the playmaker. But otherwise, I think I'd be very surprised if they don't make one or two changes. And I would have said, bring on Marapan for just a bit of experience at the back, because right now we can quite clearly see he's not worked so far. But you can see, Kieran, Caio Henrique is coming on. Maybe we might see one or two more subs.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, because Niko Kovac made a very similar substitution when they played against Lyon. As I said, the result didn't matter because they lost 4-1. But at least it's something in the midfield. I'm not sure who's going to take off. I won't be surprised if it's one of... And Fabregas. So he loves ringing the changes, does Niko Kovac. It'll probably be for the two midfielders that were in there. There was Fofana, there was Tchouaméni, there was Diop. So take your pick, because they didn't really control the middle of the park at all. As we said, Rafinha ran rings. and that's not what he usually does.
Which is quite rare, isn't it? But
Yeah.
tonight he's been given that freedom, and I don't think we'll see Fabregas necessarily doing that tonight in this game. But big substitution as they look to go a little bit more attacking in this match. And I do apologise, just trying to get an order done for food because we're very hungry right now. But in terms of the hunger of this Monaco team, they've got 45 minutes to go out there and try and get at least 2 goals in this match to salvage a point.
Honestly, smoother than whiskey tonight, you.
Beautiful.
Absolutely
I'm on a roll tonight. You love it.
Absolutely unbelievable. But we just saw someone warming up in the background. I'm not sure who that was, but they do have a tunnel cam. So someone's warming up and he was heading the football, so it might be Maripan. You might get your wish, Josh. You might enter the field at some point. But for Monaco, it is Fabregas and Joao Enrique. I'm just trying to see the numbers that come up to see if who's coming off. It's number 13. And that would be... Josh, quickly get the squad up.
I'm going to get the squad up very quickly.
Oh, it's alright. It's Goebbels.
Oh, there we go.
Goebbels is
So,
off.
striker coming off, as Peter says. You want to know something about Lionel Messi? Lionel is a very messy person.
But also, Ethan Walker is a good walker. He's a good walker. He's been
Just like Kyle. Kyle must be a good walker too.
He's been practising his good walking. And I'll tell you what, Ballo-Torre's come off. There you go.
I'm going to break for a second. Did you want anything from the fish and chips while ordering?
I didn't. I didn't, no.
That's okay. We just had to make sure as Rowan comes in and does the lovely work of sorting out orders out for food.
And they've given the ball away already.
Oh my lord, that's going to be
that's a foul on the edge of the box.
Well, we're 20
Good
seconds
start.
in here. Great start from Monaco in this first 20 seconds of action. But thank you very much, Rowan. A little bit of an advertisement there for Rowan doing the delivery work in terms of getting us food. But now we've got a free kick. I was going to say maybe good delivery into the box, but it doesn't have to be flicked in. It's certainly a good area to hit this one, and with how Monaco have looked tonight, surely this is going in a shot on target at the very least.
Well, the thing is, Di Maria is definitely the one standing over. I would be very surprised if it's not him. We know he can hit a free kick. Oh, delightful.
I should always put it close to the mic, ASMR, but Di Maria...
Put that in the tags. There we go.
Get a few extra views in the stream, but Di Maria is standing over this. We're 1 minute into the second half, and well, this would be certainly a fantastic way. Oh God, I've just seen. Well, Peter's put in the chat, but this would be a fantastic way to open the second half.
I love
Di Maria stands over this free kick. I love you too, Peter. Can he put this into the back of the net?
I think he probably can. This is the thing we've got to look out for now.
I haven't put the timer on. I'll put the timer on in a second, but he stands over this free kick.
And I'll let you know. He's just going back to the wall. He's got to put some of the spray down for the PSG players, because of course now we have spray for the wall and the PSG fake wall that they create in front of the goalkeeper to take his eye off it. And Di Maria will step up from the 18-yard line over the top.
Oh, that was cheeky.
Yeah, just over the top of the bar. I don't think there would have been much pace to take it past Minone, and the position wasn't quite there.
He goes to chip it.
Yeah.
More than just... I guess in that situation, a lot of players just tend to go for power. He's trying to chip Minone in that situation, which on a night like this... Why not go for it? Because he's been fairly shaky at the back as the ball's given away once again by Monaco, honestly. Could have had a chance there for Mbappe to be squeezed in for a potential hat-trick. Technically did score a hat-trick in the first half, but it was given as offside. And we didn't actually speak about this at half-time. They did show the goal back that Moise Kean had scored for the offside decision. And technically, when you're looking at it, what would have you said? Would you think it's the right decision or a little bit harsh to not giving it?
I'm still thinking that it was harsh to not give it because it came from the head of Disasi, the centre-back. But, not Disasi, Buddy Badiashile. But I keep getting them mixed up. But for me, I think it might have been the long ball. I was trying to eye out where Moise Kean was when the ball was lofted over the top. And he might have just been off, but I'm not sure. As Fabregas dispatches it wide, and Gelson Martins has fancied it tonight, he might be the key to getting back in the game as the back post. Fabregas.
Oh, I feel like that touch there just kind of ruined things a little bit, but they're still coming forward. Gelson Martins on the right wing. He's been the better player on the pitch tonight for Monaco, but just missing that lacking edge. He's the extra balls that they're putting in that final third that have cost them. And I think in that situation, if Fabregas not being able to take a shot on a moment ago, once again the ball could be a chance here.
Just hit the ball. I'm trying to kick every ball with them, Josh.
Oh, honestly. Another long-range effort in the end, and it goes high and wide. But it's that extra ball in the final third that's really costing them here.
Yeah, and every ball in that final third tends to be hit a bit too powerful. As I'm reading
I've just read Peter's comment. You want to know something about Declan Rice? Declan had Eddie fried rice for a starter. Not for the main, he's gone for a starter. But love it. A football watch-along and free comedy.
Yeah.
Could he get any better? That's what we love. When we do obviously international watch-alongs, we do the goal show and stuff, so it's more about just squeezing out everything as we possibly can. When we just cover one game and we can sit back on a Friday night, drinks out, watch a good match usually.
It is.
It's always nice to be able to sit back, isn't it, a little bit more?
Especially as
good chance! I thought he was in.
So did I.
Oh, Volland.
Oh, Josh, we talk about on the watch on the side netting curse that gets me when you see me bloody jumping. I think it's Kimpembe with brilliant defending. It is. Oh. It just hit the side net, and there was a nice whipped ball across towards the front post where Volland was, and Kimpembe slid. Great touch, but I thought he'd passed it past his own goalkeeper. The resulting corner is.
Oh, he's saved! Oh, when Kevin Volland, we said about it might have been Moise Keane's night. It's not Kevin Volland's night either because the corner's whipped in towards the near post on the left-hand side.
Brilliant
Volland
save.
Gets a great header on it, and that's an outstanding save from Keylor Navas. Second corner this time is going to be taken short. Just a little bit too long there, but eventually it's lobbed into the box.
Oh,
heavy touch from Volland, and it's cleared away in the end. But Keylor Navas with a great save to make sure that Monaco don't get an early goal back.
Well, it's exactly what we said. The difference between the two teams, having the likes of Kimpembe and Keylor Navas. I know Vitor Manona's experienced goalkeeper. He's not Keylor Navas, but a great save and a great tackle by Kimpembe to prevent the first goal as well. So Kevin Volland had 2 chances early in this half. But this is what we said. Monaco don't finish their chances, whereas PSG are clinical.
Exactly. Very unfortunate there for Kevin Volland to have not put his side back into the game, but it certainly might give them a little bit more confidence. I mean, this first 5 minutes in terms of attacking intent has been much better than that first half was. And as we said, maybe lacking that final ball, but there's a darting run here on this left-hand side. Ball lobbed into the box towards Gelson Martins, but some great defending at the back there from PSG, who were looking fairly resolute tonight in terms of defensive play. But Monaco trying to push to get that early goal to spur a potential comeback on.
Yeah, Chao Enrique on this left-hand side has done really well at getting towards the byline and getting the crosses in. He caused the Kimpembe sliding tackle, which was very, very good defending, and now he's just tried to get it in there with another great tackle. Gelson Martins with a 1-2, he's free for 4, he's going to finish it!
It's in, but it's not. I don't know if it's going to count or not. It will count.
Oh my God.
Game on, and Kevin Volland, he had a fair few opportunities a moment ago, but we've got a game on our hands, and if we're kind of basing it on this last 6 or 7 minutes, this could be a very interesting 45 minutes of action. 2-1 Monaco.
Brilliant tactical tweaks. It's a 1-2 between Fofana and Gelson Martins on the right. Kimpembe tackles Martins, but it ricochets into the path of Kevin Volland. Navas comes diving at his feet, and he just leaves the whole side of the goal gaping. And it's a free open net for Kevin Volland, and he'll take them all day long. What a game we now have on our hands.
It really does. It was a good finish, but it felt like time stopped for a second because obviously the ball came to Volland's feet, and it is going to be checked here just in case. Is this not going to be Monaco's night? We'll have to find out, but
if this goes in, we said in the first half, and we said, I think I said to you during half time, they'd not been very good. So all this luck they'd been having with balls hitting the crossbar, the offsides, maybe it is their lucky day.
Well,
the ref
is going to blow his whistle. The goal is given. Game on in this match, and this has been a fantastic match so far. 2-1, 7 minutes on the clock in the second half. We have got a potential mouth-watering 40 minutes of action left here, and Monaco looking to come forward once again here. Kevin Volland, as I said, just time felt like it stopped for a second. I was too busy, I've got a hair in my can, so I was too busy trying to sort myself out, but Gelson Martins flicks the ball into the box, and it's just a little bit too weak, not too much power on that cross into the box, and Keylor Navas is there to get it. And we could have been saying, of course, we had that save from Keylor Navas a moment ago. It could have been 2-2 after 7 minutes.
Exactly, and in that final third, we talked about the ball being overhit and such poor, sloppy play from Monaco. However, Cesc Fabregas, since he's come on, that might be what he brings. You know, he does bring pinpoint accuracy passing and creating gaps that other players don't see. It's been a very good start to this second half for Monaco, but they just have to watch it defensively because they're getting very comfortable. And that's always a worry against PSG. Yeah,
that's the nerve. And of course, when you're at home, you expect to be comfortable. But when it's a team like PSG, when you're playing one of Europe's elite sides in the league twice a year, I don't think you can afford to be comfortable in the game. And just a clearance away here. We've seen a few dodgy clearances and passes tonight from that Monaco back line. But, as we said earlier, Fabregas, he can't play 90 minutes anymore. And I think for a lot of his career, he's never played 90 minutes. He's always been that type of player that comes on either as a super sub, later in his career when he was at Chelsea, or he plays, 60, 70 minutes of action. But there's a chance here because there's a ball lobbed long towards the path of Gelson Martins, who looks like he's playing a little bit more centrally now.
Yeah.
Potentially two up top with Volland and Martins connecting together, do you think?
Well, I think he's going back over to the right, but when they're out of possession, why not try and exploit PSG behind the lines? Kevin Volland isn't going to do that.
No.
Goebbels isn't going to do that. Even if you put it on Jovetic, he wasn't going to do that. Martins is that one live wire in this Monaco front quartet, I would say.
Yeah.
And they've just got to be careful because we see this PSG team come forward and they are ruthless on occasion. But going the other way, Monaco have been really much improved through 10 minutes.
They have indeed, and I think the one worry for Monaco here is a player that's not even on the pitch because it's still a fairly tight game. It could change the influence of Tuchel maybe bringing on Neymar into this match, which is something you certainly don't want to see with about 15-20 minutes left to go. Fresh young Brazilian winger coming on with certainly a little bit of fitness left in him to maybe change the game up. But Monaco coming forward here once again, can they get an early equaliser in this game? It would make for a blockbuster half an hour of action. The ball comes to the left-hand side of the pitch. Diop keeping the ball in play, and it's been such a good game of football. That first half an hour was a little bit slow, but now it's certainly improved in terms of the quality of these two sides.
Definitely, as Gelson Martins will find a pocket of space for Cesc Fabregas, as we talked about earlier. He goes for the 1-2. Martins digs into the mud.
Oh, that is great defending from, I think it was Diallo there, who just somehow, I don't think he really knew much about it, to be honest. He just kind of stood there, and Gelson Martins was dancing his way through the back line, but I guess standing there doing nothing worked in Diallo's favour because he was able to stop Gelson Martins from scoring what would be a beautiful mini solo goal.
Gelson Martins been on the end of some brilliant 1-2s with the likes of Fabregas and earlier Fofana. Just a really, really impressive performance from him tonight. But again, just got to watch out because PSG were trying to counter there as Volland will get on the other side.
Going to be given us a foul in the end there. Kimpembe going down a little bit unlucky.
And here he comes.
Neymar looks like it's not going to be too long until we see him come on the pitch tonight. As Peter put, you want to know something about Ian Wright? Ian loves to walk to the Isle of Wight.
It's the Isle of Wight. He's got his own island.
You can have that one, Peter. We'll let you get away with it in that situation.
He gets his own island, does Ian Wright. A good effort, though. I thought he was going to say always walks on the right side of the road. But anyway.
But there could be a chance here for PSG to come forward either way. It's Mbappe who tries to dance his way through, but some good defending from Tuchemeni, who just gets the ball back, and maybe Monaco can counter-attack in this situation. And coming back to your point about Gelson Martins as Monaco go back, I think Kovac must have looked at it, and we said in that first 45 minutes of action that the best player on the pitch was Gelson Martins, and why not put him central, as you said? Look to do what PSG did in that first half and get him on the ball as much as you possibly can, because so far he's been the best player on the pitch for Monaco tonight. Yeah, and I'm not going to say he's been the best player on the pitch altogether, but he's probably certainly up there for it. Yeah,
just get him in behind, because he clearly likes the matchup on that his right side and PSG's left side. I don't blame him, because early in the game he was having some success over there, but they've had success all over the pitch in this second half. They have been the better team, but the worry was they were the better team for the first 25 minutes, and we saw what happened. So they just need to stay calm. Still a long time to go in the game, but sadly Neymar's coming on soon. So
yeah, that could certainly change things up indeed. But if you're on stream, as always, welcome along to the Sports Corner Live Watch Along. It's AS Monaco 1, PSG 2. With just over half an hour of action left. If you're new to the stream, as always, do leave a like and a subscription. It's greatly, greatly appreciated indeed. As Monaco look to push forward here, and the ball just a little bit loose there means that PSG can come on the counter-attack. Sarabia's going to hit the ball long towards the path of Kylian Mbappe, and this time Monaco can defend expertly well as they try to push forward for their equaliser.
Yeah, Disasi hasn't been great with his head tonight, but that was a very confident header from the young centre-back, who I'm pretty sure is captain in the side, which is insane, because I've not done that much research, but I don't think Disasi is very old.
No, I think Disasi is another one of the young players on the pitch tonight. I think he's fairly young. Maybe we're both horribly
captaining at 22.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, when you think about it? The age of some of these players is quite scary, to be honest, indeed, as the ball is hit towards the path of Gelson Martins, and unfortunately it doesn't come off in the end, and you can see he's the target tonight with half an hour left to go.
And the thing is, Fabregas has more range of passing than the young centre midfielders. Yes, the young centre midfielders brought more energy in the first half, that's fine, but when they can try outrageous long balls like that, because he's got a good history with passing, and he can... Sorry, John.
As what did the sheep say to Denver? Peter, honestly.
Right.
Brilliant joke. These are Kieran's, Kieran loves these jokes, by the way. These are literally his...
this is my bread and
dream
butter.
Jokes, yeah.
This is my bread and butter, Peter. I absolutely appreciate it. As Neymar comes on for Di Maria. So, to be fair, it's a big player on for a big player, whereas if you'd have took a Sarabia off, that might have improved the whole thing. But again, South American has been on that big long trip.
Yeah, I mean, Di Maria tonight, we've not really seen much of him. I think the free kick was as good as it gets in terms of the action we saw tonight. As Monaco looked to push forward here, it could be a chance. And it's the extra ball again. I think he was on that left-hand side, and I think there it looked like we were maybe going to see a ball outlaid to that left wing, but there was no one there, and a little bit sloppy from Monaco, but coming forward once again here. Can there be a chance for an equaliser in this game? And big opportunities in this match so far.
I tell you what, these are the best games, Josh. I don't know about you, when you don't support either team, but you're on tenterhooks.
As a neutral, it's been a great game to watch.
It's one of them. We always talk like we always bring the passion, Josh. We always bring the passion.
We do. I think.
But when it's games, you don't. We have no affinity to Monaco or PSG, but we're kicking every ball for every team just because we want. It's been such a good game. Yeah, first half an hour was slow, but since then it's been non-stop.
We are the equivalent of Conte on the touchline, kicking the ball. We love games like this, and the other boys, they do bring passion
Danilo.
from time, but it's a potential foul here. Referee's just going to let him off. I think no word said there from the referee, but pulling some players down, I think that'll probably be his last warning without the referee even saying anything. You could see he was quite blatantly staring at Pereira, and of course, any more fouls in this game, we could see a booking. But Neymar's on the pitch now with half an hour left to go of this match. Niko Kovac, of course, hasn't made any other substitutions as of yet since bringing on Cao, Enrique and Fabregas into the game. But nervy times indeed now for PSG as Neymar goes down, but he should be alright.
Yeah, it's only been on 2 minutes. He's already on the floor.
Which is very Neymar, isn't it?
Yeah, you love to see it, but that's a Kevin Volland hello to them. Welcome to the game, pal. I hope you had a good international break. Body. There you go. But yeah, I think that bringing Neymar on will worry Niko Kovac, but just try and stifle him a bit. Di Maria wasn't really in the game, so if you keep doing tactically what you was doing to Di Maria, as Monaco can break, Kevin Volland's driving, he feeds it to Gelson Martins, who can go for the reverse pass. It's a great bit of defending from Rafinha.
Well, he's doing a bit of defensive work tonight, as well as creating a few opportunities in attack as well, and that was very good work from the Brazilian there. It was a good chance for Monaco to come forward. I don't think the ball would have made it anyway to Volland, because there was a fair few numbers in the box, but really good chance.
Defending.
Once again, it shows the openness of this PSG backline. Remember, tonight they are playing the likes of Dagba and Diallo. They don't have somebody like Thiago Silva anymore, and Kimpembe, as we said, he's now the captain of the side tonight, I believe, and he is the cool head in that backline because, well, Marquinhos isn't in the team, and Marquinhos is seen more of a CDM now than he is a centre-back as they look to go along here on this left-hand side, and Kazawa makes an attacking run. Can he lay the ball into the box? It's laid off in the end towards Moise Keane, and, well, he had the ball into the back of the net earlier on in the match, but that was a little bit wide of the mark there from the Italian.
Yeah, but that's what Neymar can bring. He picked off the left-hand side there as Kazawa was making an overlapping run. It was a wonderful ball over the top of the defence. He wasn't even looking in that direction. It's just that reverse pass that only few players can do in the world, and he's one of them. But that's just got to keep Monaco a little bit honest when they're pushing these men forward. That was a big chance for Moise Keane. It was just off target, but a warning sign.
Yeah, exactly. And we know that this PSG team will look to kind of go on in this game and try and get that third goal in the match. Get a few more if they can with about 25 minutes left. You can't push too many numbers forward in a match like this, but at the same time, they're going to push numbers forward as you would expect, because you can see Monaco getting back into this match, which is, if we'd have said this at half time, it didn't look like they were going to get any goals in this game. But now with the change of system from Kovac, you have to give him credit, because you can sense an equaliser more right now, in my opinion, than PSG getting a third goal.
Yeah, the thing is, I will never blame him for trying. And in terms of changes, he's never scared to make these changes, make the difficult changes, and take players off, change the system. And in this situation, it worked. Sadly, against Lyon, it didn't quite work, but we've seen much better Monaco side. But again, PSG, when they're in this situation, are just so dangerous.
And it was a mistake from the Monaco midfield that gave the ball away, and it could be a chance for PSG to come forward here. A ball laid off to the left-hand side towards Neymar. He flicks the ball towards the path of, I think it was Kazawa who made the run forward there, but he's just a little bit too heavy from the Brazilian, and he goes out to play for a goal kick. As Peter puts, Petter is current checking his shopping checklist. That sounds like a tongue twister in itself.
It wasn't. It was. I would have just left it at checking his shopping list, but he put 2 Petters in there for us.
Checking his shopping checklist.
Antoine doesn't fancy it. He's like, "Well, I want the F, man."
I mean, Antoine, actually, of course, I'm guessing you must be a PSG fan. Do tell us, Jack, what do you think of the game so far? Because, I mean, I don't know whether you'd look at it in this last 25 minutes and say that kind of PSG being on the back foot was the mistake here at the back on that left-hand side. The ball's flicked in towards the box, and I don't really think much is going to come here. He's laid off towards the edge of the box in the end. Flicked towards the path and the back stick. And he's going to be in, but I don't think... Is he going to count?
It's got to be.
It should count, surely. I think it will. It's 2-2 Monaco. I didn't know whether it would count or not because I didn't know they were going to give a foul there on Taylor and Raphael. But Monaco were back in this game. 2-2, game on.
Absolutely unbelievable pass in the midfield. I'm pretty sure it might have been by Fofana. It's a crossfield ball. It's a brilliant run at the back post by, I think it's Cesc Fabregas.
It is indeed.
And he just finds that pass across the box as Navas is rushing him. Great close control, just passes it across to Kevin Volland, who dispatches into another empty net. Unbelievable. It's 2-2. Credit to Niko Kovac.
Well, I think in that situation, either way, had that not been given, it probably would have been given as a penalty, I think, because of Taylor and Raphael did get a touch on Fabregas. I don't know why I thought it was a foul on Raphael there, but he did get a touch of Fabregas, so I think had that not gone in, maybe that would have been given as a penalty.
Yep.
But either way, Kevin Volland, 2 goals in the match, 2-2 in this game. We've got a blockbuster bit of action as PSG come forward here on that left-hand side. It could be an instant equaliser. Neymar at the edge of the box. Lovely bit of trickery from the Brazilian. Can he work his way through, but he does a little bit too much. And now Monaco come forward. We've got 24 minutes left, Kieran.
He's giving it away, though, and that's going to be a foul just on the edge of the box. It's a chance as a player kicks the ball away. But I tell you what a brilliant pass. The problem is I couldn't remember who it was, but the pass to Fabregas was exquisite.
I think it was Fofana who laid off that ball.
What a pass.
To Fabregas, and it was just a great piece of work from him.
Yep.
But for the neutral, Kieran, we've got 24 minutes left. It's one of those games where you, quite frankly, you don't want it to end because it's been so... And he's a Monaco fan, which is fantastic indeed for you, Antoine, which is... you're back in the game right now. But
unless he supports anyone in Ligue 1, and they all hate PSG.
But we've got a free kick now. Neymar stood over it. Could we see an instant... chance for PSG to take the lead?
I don't know. By the way, credit to Carl Middleton for getting involved in the puns.
Which we'll have a look at in a second to see what pun he's chucked in there. But big
too
chance
focused
here.
on the game.
It's been such an enjoyable match to watch.
It has, and it's exactly what we expected. Both Sarabia and Neymar over this. If you're looking at the 18-yard box, what are you saying? About 25, 30 yards?
Yeah, I'd say about 30 yards, and Neymar is probably going to be the man to take this free kick. Neymar hits it. It's over the wall, but it's a
great
good
catch.
save there from Vito Manone. It was towards the top left-hand corner of the goal, but as you said, never going to trouble a man like Vito Manone, is it now?
No, save fans Vito, as he was definitely known.
Oh, Carlos, but would Petter also play a game of checkers?
Yeah.
Look at that. Kyle bringing the jokes as well as PSG. Make another 2 changes here. Paredes is going to come on as well as Michel Bakker on that left-hand side. Kazawa coming off alongside,
Danilo.
I would think. Yeah, Danilo Pereira.
Not surprised, because he was towing the line of getting a red card, because he made 2 fouls already in the second half. Yes, they were niggly ones, but, accumulation fouls, that's what I'd like to call them. And it could have easily been, well,
Mbappe's coming off. Well, again, of course, because he's played international fixtures. I don't know whether it's a case of resting him or not, or whether it's an injury.
Wasn't Kazawa leaving the field?
Kazawa left the field. I don't know whether there's been a slight change here of who's come off and who hasn't, but Kazawa looked like he'd left the field of playing, in fact. Mbappe has come off and Kazawa has come off the pitch.
Danilo's not on the pitch, though. If you look on that pitch, there's no Danilo.
Who's come off in this situation?
Have they took 3 players off?
Well, I don't know what's really happened here, unless Mbappe's having some form of treatment, but he says he's come off in this situation. We'll have to find out because...
Wait, 4, 2. Someone else must have come on.
We'll have to find out in a second and see what's happened there, because we quite clearly... I'm looking right now, it says 2 substitutes.
Who's number 38? He's new.
So number 38 coming onto the pitch is... there we go. So Kays Rui Ali has come onto the pitch, so a youngster's come on alongside Danilo Pereira, which we didn't get to see that. BT not actually showing us all the substitutes. We were right in the end.
Yeah, I thought, do you know what? I felt like Chris Kamara. I was like, no, I saw him go off. But no, we were right. There is a new man on the pitch, and it was Kays Rui Ali who's come on. Number 36.
Yeah, I'll call him Atil. Easy to call him that name, but good to see a youngster come on in this match. But PSG right now, of course, Baka coming on as well. But of course, Atil going to be not necessarily under a lot of pressure, but a youngster coming on as the forward. He's going to have certainly a big job to do here with 20 minutes left of the match. But if you're neutral and you're watching this game, you don't want it to end right now, because Monaco, they were 2-0 down. They brought it back in this game to make it 2-2. It's a grandstand 20-minute finish here, isn't it, now, between these two sides?
Definitely. And you would not have said that at half-time. You probably would have thought that Monaco weren't going to be in the game at all, but if you then look at how Niko Kovac ran the changes, he saw what was the problem. Just they needed a bit of help in midfield, and that's what they got from the likes of Fabregas and a bit of a wing play by João Henrique, who's been really good since he came on. Just a very good second-half performance from AS Monaco.
It has been indeed, and honestly, everyone tonight in the comments will love to see it. Peter's put, Danny has feelings for his crush. Like it.
That was smart. Think of that one.
And then Carl's put, Peter waiting for his paycheck in the post.
I love it. Peter Check's got more jokes.
Oh, God. But there's a chance here for PSG to come forward. Long ball lobbed into the box towards the path of Moise Kean. Is it going to come down in the end? But Rafinha's got the ball back and let it onto the left wing position where Baka is currently occupying that position. Lay it off to Kimpembe. And PSG under a lot of pressure now to go on and get the winner in the match, because as it currently stands, of course, it doesn't really change anything in the groups. In the league, because Monaco will stay in 5th place.
Yep.
Sorry, no, they will go up. To 5th place
for now.
And PSG, well, they'll stay first no matter what happens tonight. But, of course, they'll want to try and make sure that Marseille, who've got 2 games in hand, Lille with a game in hand as well, aren't able to get back into it as they come onto that left-hand side. And it's Baka who's going to try and flick a ball into the box. It isn't.
That was a Teal, and then to Neymar. The thing is, Monaco have got every person behind the ball at the moment, even the attackers. But Neymar
just a little bit too heavy there with the touch.
It's going to be a corner.
Play for a corner. I thought he was going to play for a goal kick there. But Atil and Neymar both got very similar haircuts.
They do. Everyone's gone blonde.
Yeah.
It might have been a PSG thing, but he did nutmeg the centre half, and it did come off the heel, so it is right to be a corner. Neymar will take the subsequent corner. 18 minutes to go now in this game, and the corner is whipped in near post, and it's a solid clearance, more height than distance, and it might get brought back in.
It has indeed. Kimpembe getting a touch of the ball there, but it's not going to lead to anything in the end. And now Monaco can try and counter-attack. The ball flicks to the left-hand side towards Diop, just a little bit too heavy. Well, a little bit too heavy, just very heavy indeed. And unfortunately for Monaco, they can't break. I think in a game like this, why not bring on Jovetic? Go for it.
They might very well do that. Maybe for Kevin Volland, because he has been on all night, and he's worked very hard. He's been in the right place at the right time.
Or do you leave him on so he can try and get the hat trick in the game?
Well,
I guess it depends. How plucky do Monaco feel? Because
then again,
right now it does feel like they could go on and get a winner, but PSG is starting to edge their way back into this match.
No, but to be fair, Volland hasn't been on international duty, whereas I think he has. Jovetic has. So we'll see how fresh his legs are after that. But I would be surprised if we didn't see him. Or are they happy with a 2-2? I really don't know with this Monaco team.
It is a bit of a weird one, because I think you could sit back now for 17 minutes and take a point, but Well, for the neutral, where's the fun in that? I mean, of course, as a manager, you might be looking at it thinking it would be a great chance to get a point here as the ball is trying to be fed towards Moise Keane inside the box on the left-hand side, but a little bit too weak, the pass, and Vito Manone is able to get the ball.
Yeah, safe hands is back again, isn't he?
He's indeed.
We know what he's like. He doesn't drop them as Gelson Martins again. I mean, hasn't been involved in all the goals, but I think on the ball, I think he's the player that's probably been feared the most by the PSG defenders as he turns Atil inside out.
Yeah, he's, as I said, not being instrumental in the attack, but because he's such a quick player, he's kind of been. He hasn't been the assister of the pre-assist of the assist, but he's certainly been good indeed. As Monaco come forward here, there's a good chance for the ball to be lofted into the box. Kevin Volland still has the ball. It's bundled about. Still got it. It's wide, and it's a big chance. And how has Fabregas missed an opportunity to potentially win this game for Monaco?
Well, time slowed down again as the ball got drilled into the box, and it was round the feet of Kimpembe and Volland and Fabregas for however long, and he's just missed from the 6-yard line. Which
he has to put that in the back of the net.
He may have been offside anyway.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know that in that situation. Comes off the roof of his foot and goes over the top. Unbelievable how Monaco aren't in the lead, which, again, at half-time I never thought I would be saying.
No, because we could have been saying at half-time that they were 5-0 down potentially. We had 2 goals chalked off in this match, remember, in the first half, which, if you watch the second half without viewing the first, you wouldn't expect. You wouldn't have expected that performance from Monaco, but they've found the courage and the strength to get back into this game. The important thing is now that they don't concede in this game, because that's when PSG could start to run right in this match and try and get 1 or 2 more goals in this match as Monaco get a free kick.
It's alright.
It's alright. I'm trying to get my words out there. Whoa.
It's what we spoke about at half time, and we kind of pondered around the idea, was it Monaco's night? How lucky have they been? But they're not going to get back into it, so don't worry about it. Well, how costly are them mistakes in the first half? The 2 offsides, hitting the bar with Moise Keane. And we talk about how ruthless PSG have been, but a few chances they had, not wasted because they were still good chances, but just fortunately didn't go into the back of the net.
Exactly. It's they've had a few little decent opportunities, and they've still got time to have a few more opportunities in this game, as Peter's put. Thiago's favourite film is Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Beautiful, Peter.
I love how much thought. It's great. Thank you, Peter.
The ball flicked into the box towards the path of Kevin Volland, and
Be a foul.
just couldn't get a touch on the ball there, and it's giving us a foul in the end, I think. But another good ball there from Tuchman. He just flicks it up, and it's more of just a kind of punch in the back of the head to Kimpembe there as PSG tried to break, and Neymar's not done much so far in this game at all, has he? To be honest.
Great dispossession in the midfield again by the midfield of Monaco. And
look at this. This is absolutely beautiful scenes on stream. We've had food for the first time in... Well, I don't think I've ever eaten on stream, but... I haven't got... bottom left-hand corner, there's a fork in there.
In your drawer?
In the drawer, yeah. Look at this. Honestly, fit meal for a king. Unbelievable indeed, but we've got 14 minutes left here. I do apologise, I'm going to have to eat on stream, but should be alright. Monaco looking like they're going to try. I think they want a winner in this game, don't they, Kieran?
I don't know. It's what we said in the first half. Where did they toe the line between wanting to go out and win the game? But a point against PSG is a good result. It's really difficult to find the balance. But late on, how much fitness is left in the legs of this Monaco team? Because they've worked extremely hard to get back into the game. They've been chasing it for long periods. They'll want a winner, but they don't want to lose a point that they had. We said at the second half, what was there to lose? Now they have something to lose.
Exactly, and I think it's quite awkward because this game has come at the worst time in terms of international fixtures just finished. So players that you are bringing on, like as I said, for example, if you were to bring Jovetic on as Monaco come forward here, Gelson Martins has gone down, and he will be calling for a penalty here. In fact, he doesn't. And it wouldn't be given as a penalty anyway. But in terms of substitutes you will bring on in a match like this, they're going to be a little bit more tired because they've just played international fixtures. So I think in terms of playing time, it's the worst time to play them. But right now, they're giving them a great game indeed.
More, I'd say, in terms of Gelson Martins again being the focal point of the attack as a loose ball finds Moise Keane. It's found Pablo Sarabia, who hits it straight into the goalkeeper.
What comeback by Monaco?
Yeah, definitely a good comeback in the game, and we'll see how it goes.
Thank you very much, Rowan. As always, bringing the food on stream. As I said, usually wouldn't eat on stream, but we're doing it tonight. But a big chance there for PSG to come back into the to come back into the lead, which you've got to say tonight from PSG, it has been a fairly poor second half performance.
Yeah, it has, and luckily that's been lost because of how good Monaco have been. Because I think Monaco have been absolutely fantastic in this second half. And sometimes we always give the big team too much credit. How shoddy they were defensively. Sometimes we've got to talk about how good the other team's been. And in the second half, Monaco have been by far the better side. And a big switch ball has found Chao Enrique. He's got acres of space in behind Colin Dagbury. He lines him up and he'll drive at him. He goes to get into the box to Fabregas.
Weak balance there. Mishits it. Of course, he'd be offside in that situation. Fabregas, that's 2 chances now he's had where he should be at least putting it on target or in the back of the net.
Yeah, it's great work again, but they've won the ball back really well, and you can see Disasi, he's kicking every ball with his teammates. He's cheering them on with every tackle, and that's what you want to see. What a brilliant fight from this Monaco team.
They've got the grit and determination. As I said, I think they could go on and win this.
Yeah, they may very well do. As there's a foul by Atil, maybe showing his young play there as he fouls Diop and earns a free kick in a dangerous position midfield for mid in the attacking half of Monaco.
But Fabregas there, what a chance that was. And as much as obviously we said that's 2 big chances he's missed, at the same time, it's 2 really, really good opportunities. And had he not been on the pitch, would we have had these chances?
Well, no, there wasn't enough attacking movement from the players in the first half, as this is the one we see Gelson Martin skip past Kimpembe and fall to the ground. That's definitely not a penalty. But yeah, he's been in the attacking positions. It's what we talked about when he came on. We know what he is. We know he's on the ball. He's fantastic. He's a great technician. And off the ball, he finds pockets of space and he creates opportunities. And his set piece will be whipped into the box.
That's a great ball. Oh.
And I'm not sure whether that'll be a corner or a goal kick. And by the look on the face of Tchouaméni, that's a goal kick.
So it was a great ball into the box then.
It was a good ball, but his header, maybe a bit floated so that the Monaco attackers had to get all the power themselves. But from that position into the right area, bit difficult for the attacker, but that's fine as we eke into the last 10 minutes of the game and hopefully a winning goal.
Hopefully so indeed. Peter's put Heung-Mon has a son.
Heung-min.
Oh, there's a mistake at the back here and he's gone down in the box and it's going to be a penalty for Monaco and a yellow card, and Kevin Volland's surely got to take this off Fabregas. Penalty. Monaco could be about to complete the comeback, and the yellow card to Diallo, that is deserved.
Yep, Diallo is caught out at the back and he pulls back Kevin Volland, who's been a completely different striker.
What is he doing?
In this second half, he gets the ball mixed up in his feet. Volland nicks it off him and he's just dragged to the ground as he enters the box, and there's definitely a penalty. He's trying to make up for his error, and in doing so has made another one, and it is a penalty to Monaco. Absolutely unbelievable.
Big chance indeed here for Monaco to go from being 2-0 down to 3-2 in this game. And well, if there was any man who was going to stop it, I thought Volland would have taken it. But he's the experienced man, Fabregas. He's missed 2 big chances in this game to put the side into the lead. Can he score from the spot?
They're checking VAR. I don't really think there's much needed to be checked here, to be completely honest. I think that's quite an obvious decision for the referee to make. He's not had a bad night, the referee. I think he's played the game very well, but we'll have to see.
He's played very well indeed in terms of not making sure that the game isn't broken up too much by opportunities. But VAR is going to check this here.
That's definitely this a definite foul.
In fact, he's not even going to bother looking at it for a long period of time. I think he's already seen what he wants. It's going to be a red card.
Oh!
Red card in this situation.
Oh my God.
He literally takes about 5 seconds to look at this.
That does
which is
surprise
fantastic.
me. That does surprise me because yes, it's a goal scoring opportunity, and he is through on goal. But there's easy chance. It's not egregious. I can see why it's been given, but that's a very, very strange.
And we got the red card.
Yep, there you go. Diallo is off. He stops a goal scoring opportunity. He's dragged back Volland. I can understand why it's been given. I personally maybe thought the yellow was kind of enough, but the referee's seen it on the monitor and he thinks red is what it should be. Absolutely fantastic decision by the referee.
Very good decision indeed. Red card for PSG.
That's VAR working properly.
And look at how quick was his decision. He literally took 5 seconds to look and went, "Yeah, I'm giving that."
To be fair though, he didn't see anything different. He didn't see distance to the goal, so he must have been like a half thought in his head. But Fabregas will step up. He's made a great difference since he's come onto the field. This is the moment he can make the biggest difference in the game so far and turn this game completely on its head.
It's usually a cool head.
And here he goes. He steps up, takes a subtle step into the top corner.
Of course, what a comeback. From 2-0 down to 3-2. Monaco lead.
Absolutely unbelievable. We would not have seen this coming at half-time. I've got to admit, complete credit to Niko Kovac. He's done an absolute tactical masterclass tonight. And PSG have to get back into this one with 10 men. He is bearing down on goal. Maybe that is the reason. But a stutter step from Fabregas into the top corner. And what a game we have on our hands with 7 minutes to go. Now, if you're PSG, this just becomes twice as hard. As Antoine says, Monaco for life.
What performance from them. Absolutely incredible. Now, what do you do in this situation for Monaco? Do you sit back and try and hold on? PSG down to 10 men in this game. This could be a massive victory. Not just for Monaco, but for the league itself. Because PSG was starting to pull away once again with their points. Of course, a couple of teams have got a few extra games to play as there's a change here. Florenzi coming on for Rafinha. Desperate times means desperate measures.
Yep.
Could be a very good last 10 minutes of football here. But Monaco 3-2, they deserve it.
They do in this second half. It's completely night and day from what you would have seen in the first half. And I'm sorry, I am seeing every single joke, but this game is very, very good. Apart from yours, Kyle's, which is absolutely brilliant, by the way. Anyway, back to the game, because I don't think I can take my eyes off this for the last 5 minutes that we are entering right now.
And I think we'll probably get a few minutes of additional time as well. I think we'll probably get 3 or 4 minutes just to spice things up in this game. But
we didn't have any first half added time, so I think in the second half we've got to have at least 4 or 5 minutes, definitely.
Exactly, and to think Neymar, since he's come on, has done nothing in this game. Absolutely nothing.
He hasn't, but it only takes a minute for him to change it as Moise Kean holds the ball up. He's dispossessed immediately. But very sloppy from the Monaco at the back in this space on the left for Sarabia. We'll have to see what these big players can do, because this is the moment where you need the likes of Neymar to step up, and he's just been dispossessed, but he's still got it.
That's Neymar for you, isn't it? Just always gets the ball back.
What an end to this game.
I mean, we said it was going to be a good game. We either said it was going to be a very tight match, or it was going to turn into a drubbing. And to be honest, the first half looked like it was going to be a drubbing. The second half has been very tight indeed in terms of course, how Monaco have got back. But there could be a chance here for PSG to come forward for 3-3. That is great defending. An awful touch.
Yeah, Sarabia was free on the left-hand side. He created some great space. And his first time volley across the box found Neymar's feet. But it's a terrible touch from the Brazilian. It just bobbles around. It's great defending by Disasi. But amazingly, when you said we expected either a drubbing or a close game, we've had both.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because usually you get one or the other, but we've had both in this game. And Antoine does say, yes, Monaco for life. I think as a neutral, we were all Monaco at half-time, but we didn't expect this. And what a comeback this has been.
Well, that's the thing. We could have been talking at half-time and saying, look, PSG could have been 4-0 up in this game, and it's a completely different match. But they've shown great. They've shown determination. They've got 3 minutes left here to hold on with a few minutes of additional time. I mean, if they can get a forfeit, which could be a chance, that's a poor tackle. That has to be, surely, another yellow card coming out. It is indeed.
Yeah, well, Gelson Martins was breaking behind the back line of PSG. Kimpembe had been defensively solid all night, but he's the only recognised centre-back on the pitch now. And he dives in to try and get the ball, but he just takes the legs of Martins before getting the ball. He looks like a sad puppy when he's been given that yellow card, but no question marks on that. And I tell you what, if that was closer to the goal, I think that could have been a red as well.
Could have had 2 red cards for PSG, which they've had that twice this season, haven't they now? Because they had the Marseille game where they had 2 players sent off, and then they had the Champions League game as Monaco come forward. He's trying to get the 4th goal of the game. It's just a weak ball on that left-hand side from Taylor and Raphael. And, well, if he could get a 4th goal in this game and really kill it off, then it'd be certainly the perfect match for Monaco, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it definitely would be. And again, another substitute making a difference was Chao Enrique, I think, down this left-hand side. Ballatore did really well getting forward, but he couldn't keep it up for another 90 minutes and he was caught out of position a few times. Great footwork on this left-hand side by Tushimeni. He drives into the box and it's great strength by Presnel Kimpembe, I've got to admit.
Really good.
It's old-fashioned shoulder barge. Great footwork. He drives towards the area, Tushimeni. Great body by Presnel Kimpembe.
And the thing is as well, just because he's got the yellow card, there'll be a few players on the pitch thinking, oh, well, why not? Why not give that as a foul? But it's just really good defending. As Vishu asks who will win. I think
Monaco,
with a few minutes left, you would expect Monaco to go out and win this game.
You'd like to think so with only a minute and a half to go. But who knows with the way this game has gone so far. Sarabia is on this left-hand side. He tries to Jenkins out. But luckily, defensively, the second half, Monaco have been really, really good. But it only takes one moment as Moise Kean holds it up really well. And he finds Sarabia, who his ball across the box, only finds the gloves of Vito Manone, and this is it now. You just time waste, don't you?
Yeah, pretty much. It's the best thing to do now against this PSG side, which, as we said, they've not looked good in attack today. Specifically in the second half. Moise Kean hasn't done anything in the second half. Neymar hasn't influenced the game a great deal. As we have got a Pelé going down, of course, as you would expect, to waste a little bit more time in this match and frustrate PSG with about 40 seconds left to go with the 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's the old school injury timeout. We've seen it plenty of times. Suddenly everyone's got cramp. It's amazing that people only get cramp after 85 minutes, which, it happens sometimes. But there is a sub, and it will be Florentino Luis, a little bit more of a defensive midfielder than Tushimeni. He likes to bring a bit of creativity, whereas Luis, is the breaker up of the play, and he'll sit in front of the back four for this last I don't know how many added times. I'd say about 4 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, I would have said 3 or 4 minutes left of this match. Of course, this is going to add maybe a little bit more extra time on while we see Tuchimeni hobble off the pitch. And well, it's just been a great performance tonight. Indeed,
Yep.
Kyle's put Shane doesn't have to run for long to catch the bus.
Yeah,
If we get 4 minutes of additional time.
I have seen them, but I did see that Kyle did put credit to Monaco and never give up. Exactly. And there's one thing you can say about this young side. Yes, they're slightly naive on occasion, but they're also fearless, and that is something that you don't get sometimes. That they're enthusiastic, they're enigmatic, they're everything you want to see from a young side. And yes, the red card and the penalty helps, but they've been much the better side in this second half and for much of the first half. Rolled the luck, of course they did, but you need that sometimes when you're facing these big teams. And there'll be another substitute as well, and I think that might be Stevan Jovetic. I'm not quite sure though.
Looks like him, but we've got about 3 minutes and 20 seconds left here.
Yeah, they do have 3 minutes and 20 seconds left, and they'll go back to the goalkeeper, Vito Manone, because of obviously the injury. The ball was kicked out of play, and this is it. They'll try and make one more sub before the game is up to try and waste a little bit more time. But the ball goes long by Manone, and I'm pretty sure if you are Monaco, you'll take niggly fouls like this in the midfield, and Fabregas, very experienced guy, goes down under the pressure of a header.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing in that situation, and what a great performance tonight. And Jovetic comes on for the final few minutes of action here, and as I said, he's been on international duty doing quite well, but he comes into this match with a few minutes left. It's going to be Diop who comes off the pitch. He's had a very good performance tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he was one in the first half that got on the ball a lot. Yeah, some of his touches and some of his passes were a bit misplaced, but you'll get that with young players.
Exactly.
But I think overall he's had a very good night, and he's been a little bit of a nuisance for this PSG defence. But we have about 2 minutes left. Well, that's a terrible free kick, and the ball's immediately given away, but then given away by Sarabia as well. So really niggly way to end this game. And it's kind of ended how it started, which was just dispossession after dispossession.
Pretty much, which for Monaco works in their favour right now. It was them giving away the ball a lot in that first half. Now it's PSG doing quite the opposite. But 2 minutes left of this game. If you've enjoyed this watch along, by the way, do leave a like and subscription as always. It's been a fantastic game to watch as you watch me sit and eat chips live on stream. Do you want a chip, by the way? Dive in if you want. But we've got about a minute and 40 seconds left here. Surely now Monaco have got the win.
I mean, as Cal says, we talked about the mentality of them in the Champions League, but credit to PSG, they know how to F up a game. And this is the thing.
Yeah, it's spot on. We spoke about in that first 45 minutes how things were just going to get worse for Monaco.
And they
in
got
fact,
better.
it was quite the opposite, and you could say it's all down to Fabregas.
Well, I'd say the changes by Niko Kovac, I've got to admit, I think Chao Enrique did really well, as Gelson Martins has lost a shin pad. But Neymar has broken free.
Oh.
He's driving through the middle of the pitch. He's got Sarabia to his left. That's who he finds. Sarabia tries to put a ball in. It's on the edge of the box where Neymar waits again. He's been on the ball a lot, but he's not created anything. It's recycled by PSG. There is a minute left in this game, and it's getting very, very tense as Atil picks it up in midfield.
Very nervous indeed. They're going to have to pass all the way back to the defence, which is exactly what Monaco want. And you can see every player bar one is back. In fact, they're all back now in the own half of players. You would expect maybe one more chance here for PSG to come forward later on in this game. 40 seconds left. Ball spread onto the left wing, flicked into the box, trying to get it towards the path. I think Bakker there it wasn't Bakker, sorry, it was Atil in the middle, but the referee's going to bring it back for a free kick. Surely now that could be game over.
Yeah, it's a foul on Badiashile. The studs of Atil catch him in a 50-50. And they're just re-showing his lovely nutmeg, but sadly his lovely nutmeg doesn't mean anything. But it is some nice skill from the young man. As there's another change, Gelson Martins is being replaced by Matazo for the last 10 seconds of this game. I've got a feeling after this goal kick that might be all we get, and it's all she wrote in this game. But we'll see as Vito Manone stands over the goal kick.
Well, you might as well just stand at the touchline here, Matazo, because he's going to be done within about a second. Niko Kovac, what performance from his side tonight.
Yep.
Great instrumental performance as the referee keeps the play going. And the referee's got the whistle. No, he's not. He's tugging his hair, just having a bit of a pull of his hair.
Combing his hair, and this might be the last chance. Bakker drives forward. There's lots of space for Sarabia. He breaks. This is the final attack of the game. Into the box. It's a terrible ball. But oh my God. The Monaco defenders left it for each other. Luckily, Neymar handled it when he went for it, but nearly a lapse in concentration by Chao Enrique at the back. Got very nervous towards the end, but Monaco don't do things easily, do they? No,
they don't make life easy for themselves, but what a win this is going to be. Got about, a few seconds left. You assume that this kick will end the game completely as Vito Manone takes his time. What a performance tonight from this Monaco team. They definitely deserve to take all 3 points home tonight as the referee plays on for a few more seconds here. How the whistle hasn't blown, I do not know indeed.
It's got to be soon, but they're coming again, and this time it's Dagba on the left-hand side. He'll find Sarabia again. A lot of it's been coming down this left. They're going towards midfield, but surely the ref's got to blow his whistle now. And he will. No, he won't.
He's still playing on.
He's got to do it now.
And he does now. There we go.
Jesus Christ. And thank you very much, Kyle, who says this has to be one of the best watch songs I've ever watched. Wish it could last forever. It seems that when we had the Rangers v Benfica ended 3-3, we had Monaco PSG's ended 3-2. But overall, thoughts on the game?
Great game. Really good game. I mean, as I said, it's a contrast in both second halves. In the first half, it was PSG dominating. We thought they were going to go on and win this match by a couple of goals, but the substitutions from Niko Kovac, the influence of Caro, Enrique and Fabregas completely changed this game up, and it was a fantastic match to watch for the neutral. Fair play to Kevin Volland as well to come in, score 2 goals when I think there'll be a lot of Monaco fans out there screaming, of course, but we couldn't play Ben Bieda tonight because of COVID, but it looked like they were going to be missing him heavily. But what a performance tonight from this Monaco side. As for PSG, what do you think about them? Because great first half, absolutely shoddy in the second half, weren't they?
It's back to the mentality. We began to not question it due to how successful they were in the Champions League and how going behind didn't hurt them. But today they were in the lead and they looked comfortable. But we began to question earlier in the first half, was it Monaco's day? Were they getting extremely lucky? They got extremely lucky. And in the second half, they made the tactical tweaks required to get the best. And PSG, sadly, just had no answer for that second half shape of Monaco. And what a brilliant turnaround. Losing the heads towards the end. Fantastic result.
Great result indeed, and a great game overall. What a match tonight in Ligue, and our first Ligue game of the season ends with 5 goals, a red card, and an incredible comeback from 2-0 down for Monaco to win 3-2. A fantastic performance indeed tonight, and there's plenty more fantastic games to come on the channel as well. Tottenham Hotspur taking on Manchester City. Be live with me and KD tomorrow night from 5:15. Should be a good game of football. Then straight after that, you can join me in Roma for Atletico Madrid versus Barcelona at 10-8. Should be a thrilling match in La Liga. We're back on Tuesday and Wednesday with the Champions League goals show, groups E to H on Tuesday from 7:45, and then Wednesday you can see the likes of Bayern Munich and Real Madrid not competing against each other but against other teams in the Champions League from 7:45, and then our pick of the bunch on Thursday for the Europa League could be Nice versus Slavia Prague. Keep you updated with that though, because BT has been pissing about with some of the games that are playing later on that aren't on their usual channels. But what a fantastic match tonight. Really, really enjoyable game in Ligue 1 between two incredible sides. But ultimately, AS Monaco were the better team.
Yeah, I think overall they deserved the result they got, which is amazing considering how they were 2-0 down at half time. It's exactly what we want to see from these games, full of drama, full of goals, full of everything else. And thank you to Antoine, thank you to Peter, thank you to Kyle who was in, thank you to Chris Watch who was in there earlier. Thoughts and prayers to you, sir. But we've all got to witness an absolutely fantastic game, and we hope that you all enjoyed it. Remember to like and subscribe.
We hope you enjoyed it indeed. But thank you very much, Kieran.
Thank you very much, Josh.
We always love a dramatic game when it comes to us two on stream. But as Kieran perfectly said, if you're new to the stream, do leave a like and a subscription as always. It's very greatly appreciated. We'll be live again on 5:15 tomorrow. Spurs taking on Manchester City, the Premier League. That usually ends up as a classic. Will it happen once again? We'll have to find out indeed.
Well, you'd like to think so, but also keep onto the socials as well. Follow at the Sports Corner, because there might be some games that we've not quite advertised and they might spruce up. You never know.
They might indeed. We'll have to find out. But as for now, thank you very much as always. We hope you enjoy the watch along. Do leave a like, a subscription. As always, it's very greatly appreciated. But have a fantastic morning, evening, and afternoon wherever you are, and we hope to see you again soon. Good night.